then this range and this distance will be same to same because the rest of the motion is same. This is tension in the thread connected to the blocks. Total initial charge will be total final charge. That will give us the final charge on the potential.
Our next intermediate is going to be another methyl here. Overall, we need 10 mole of electrons, and the N factor of KMnO4 is 5. So that would be your 0.02 Faraday, okay?
That is the part which is lying inside the triangle. You will use the definition minus x into 3 power 1 by x divided by 37 divided by total number of moles 911.
Hello students. Hello. Welcome. So my name is Vipul Deshmukh and we'll be discussing solution to physics. Okay, FT-4. Let's start now. First question. A satellite is revolving very close to a planet of density d. Time period of revolution of satellite is, okay, time period of revolution of satellite is. So if let's say this is the planet and satellite is revolving very close to planet, so it will appear like this. So what can we say about the orbital radius? Orbital radius r is actually Earth radius or planet radius plus height above the surface. But since it is very close, we can say this is approximately equal to r. H can be ignored. So we can recreate the formula for time period of the satellite, which is 2 pi under root of r cube by gm. So we have to write answer in terms of density. So I'll square on both sides. T square 4 pi square and small r square will get cancelled and small r is approximately equal to capital R in this case. So writing small r as capital R cube upon gm. Now remember, we have to write answer for time period. So what we can do, we can write mass as density into volume because options are in terms of density. So writing this mass as density into volume. Mass as density d into volume will be 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay. So we can cancel pi. We can cancel 4. We can cancel r cube. Okay. So what are we remaining with? We have 3 in the numerator. 1 of the pi will be remaining. Then g and d in the numerator. Right. And this is equal to t square. We need t value. So we have to take square root. Okay. So 3 pi by g d raised to half or square root. So that will give you answer as option A. That is the correct answer. Okay. Let's go to the next question. Massless uniform rod is subjected to force F at the end as shown in the figure. If the value of the tensile stress at plane P is 1/4 of the maximum value in the rod, then value of theta in the diagram will be. Okay. So very important information is given that at point P, for the plane P, whatever the tensile stress is, that is 1/4 of the maximum stress. 1/4 of the maximum stress. So we have to figure out what is going to be the angle theta for that to be true. What should be the angle theta? So here you can see that the question has originally this diagram. Okay, they have mentioned theta. This is vertical line just for the reference, and this is another line. This line indicates area vector. This line indicates area vector, area vector of the plane P. So if the stress here is half of maximum stress or 1/4 of the maximum stress, so stress at point P is equal to 1/4 of the maximum stress. Now maximum stress will be force upon cross section area. Okay, force upon cross section. This will be maximum stress. Okay, when the force and area are perfectly perpendicular, you will get maximum stress. So this is maximum stress. Now we have to calculate what is the stress at point P or a plane P. So for calculating stress for plane P, we need to know what is the force which is perpendicular to plane P. So the force that is there, which we are applying, is F, which will be downward. But we have to take that force which is perpendicular to the area. So we will resolve the force into component. So if this angle is theta, then this is F cos theta. Okay. And we have to get the area of the plane as well. Okay. We know area of cross section of rod. A is area of cross section of the rod, but we need area of that plane P. Okay. So think carefully. This is the plane whose area vector will be like this. But what we have is area of the rod. Area of the cross section area of the rod is assumed to be A. Okay. So how much this area vector will be? So here we have to understand carefully. Cross section area of the rod okay, is one of the component of the area vector of plane P. Cross-section area of the rod is one of the component of area vector. So if I need area vector from this in terms of A, so this is cross-section area of the rod, okay, and that area vector, if I show you, it is directed like this, okay, but what I want is this area, and let me call it as A dash, okay, fine. This angle is already mentioned in the question, area vector, and yes, so this angle will be theta, okay, cool. So A dash cos theta will be equal to A. Notice that A dash cos component, A dash cos component will be equal to A, cross-section area A. So A dash cos of theta will be equal to A. See, A is cross-section area of the rod. Its component is A dash. No, that is wrong. A dash is the bigger area, which is cross-section area of plane P, and component of that area, which is along the rod, is cross-section area of the rod. One more time. A dash is the area of the plane P. Component of that area along the rod is cross-section area of the rod. Okay. So from here, we can write down formula for A dash. That would be A divided by cos of theta. Now to get the stress for plane P, what is force acting? So force acting is F cos theta on the plane P. Then what is the area vector? It is A dash, which is A upon cos theta, okay, is equal to F upon 4A. So we can simplify this. Cos theta will move up. It will be cos square theta, F and A as it is. And here F upon 4 times A. So F and F cancel, A and A cancel. So this gives us cos theta after taking square root equal to 1 by 2. Okay. So that means theta is equal to 60 degree. Correct answer is option D. Clear? So this area part is most important part of the question. Otherwise, question is not that difficult. Let's move on to the next question. A large number of liquid drops, each of radius r, coalesces to form a single drop of radius capital R. Assume that the energy released in the process is converted into kinetic energy of big drop so found. Then find speed of that big drop. Surface tension is T. Liquid density is rho. Fine. So first of all, we have to calculate how much of energy will be released when many drops will merge into one single drop. Large number of drops, when they will merge into one single drop, then how much of energy will be released? So that delta U will be equal to initial energy minus final energy. So initial energy will be equal to n number of liquid drops, each of them having surface area 4 pi small r square. Okay, small r is radius of the small drop into surface tension T. So this is the total initial energy. Minus finally it becomes a one single big drop. So area of that big drop will be 4 pi capital R square into T. Okay. So we can take few things common here. What are we can take common? We can take 4 pi common, T common. Inside we have n into small r square minus capital R square. Okay. Our answer is in terms of small r also, capital R also. So what is the relation between small r and capital R? There's an interesting relation between them, because large number of liquid drops, each having radius r, combines to form a big drop. So their total volume will be same. Volume conservation can be useful. Total initial volume will be equal to total final volume. And from that, we get a very important relation. Capital R is equal to n raised to 1 by 3 into small r. This is the relation between capital R and small r. Okay. Now this is the energy that will be released. Initial energy will be more, final area will be less, energy will be released. Now the question says that this energy is given to the drop in the form of kinetic energy. This energy is given to the drop in the form of kinetic energy. So half mass into velocity square. We want to find out speed of the big drop. So 4 pi T, these numbers as it is. Now mass of the big drop will be equal to density of the liquid into volume of the drop. Volume will be 4 by 3 pi r cube, okay, into v square, equal to 4 pi T n small r square minus capital R square. Now we just have to rearrange. 4 pi cancel. Then 2 will move up. Here we have v square. 2 will move up. 2 into 3, that will be 6. So we can move 6 on the other side, that will become 6t. And here n r square minus capital R square. This rho will go down in the denominator. Okay, and capital R cube will also go down in the denominator. So I will split here capital R cube. I hope you're getting the calculation. Okay, so rho went down, 2 into 3, 6 went up, tension as it is, surface tension, the bracket as it is, R cube went down in the denominator. So we can split the R cube for both the terms. And now we can take square root. So if you just notice this, if I do R cube on both sides, so R cube will be equal to n into small r cube. Okay, right? So I think we can rearrange terms here to get answer. If I need, or we can just substitute the value because the answer is not in terms of n. So we can just put the value of n, that was also fine. N will be equal to r cube by small r cube. So let's do that. 6t upon rho. Okay, and here we already have r square into capital R cube. Now n value replaced as capital R cube upon small r cube minus here r square cancel, 1 by capital R will be remaining. Here also r cube cancel, r square cancel, one single r will be remaining, and that's how eventually you have to take the square root. Answer is 6t by rho bracket 1 by r minus 1 by capital R. Okay, so D is the answer. Fine. Let's move on to the next question. Current flowing through the Zener diode. Current flowing through the Zener diode in the circuit shown is fine. So there is a Zener diode. You know the purpose of Zener diode is to maintain the voltage. It is always used in reverse bias condition, which it is right now. So it is designed to easily undergo breakdown, and once it undergoes breakdown, then no matter how much current you pass through it, voltage will remain fixed. So such voltage is 4 volt for the given Zener diode. That means no matter how much current fluctuation will occur, voltage difference, potential difference across the Zener diode will always be 4 volt. So for this current, if I calculate current through load, IL, then I can calculate current through load. Current through load will be voltage of Zener diode divided by its resistance. Voltage of Zener diode is 4 and resistance is 1 kilo. So that will be 10 raised to 3. So this gives us current in the load as 4 into 10 to the power minus 3 ampere, which we can write as 4 milliampere. This is the current in the load. Now, as I said, this unit, whatever you current in parallel with Zener, will have voltage always 4. So if that portion of the circuit takes 4 voltage, total voltage available here is 10. If the Zener portion is always going to take 4, see, understand, Zener portion and this, they are in series combination. This group of things in parallel with Zener and the Zener itself, that one group and the remaining 1.2 kilo ohm, they are in series combination, right? So if they are in series combination, potential will be segregated, divided. So total potential available is 10, out of which 4 is consumed by Zener. So remaining voltage. So voltage across this resistor will be 10 minus 4, that is 6 volt. And that will give you the main current in the circuit. I'm calling it as just I. So that current will be equal to potential difference, which is 6 divided by the resistance, which is 1.2 kilo. Kilo is 10 raised to 3. So this can be written as 60 by 12 into 10 raised to minus 3. So 5 milliampere, perfect division. So 5 milliampere is the current. Now note this particular point, okay, point P. So if I apply simple KCL for point P, incoming current is I and outgoing current will be current through load plus current through Zener diode. Current through Zener diode is written as IZ. So total current is 5 ampere. Current through load is 4 milliampere, 5 milliampere. Remaining is IZ. So total 5, out of which 4 passes through the load and the remaining 1 passes through Zener diode. So answer is 1 milliampere. So A is correct answer. Fine. Let's go. Next question. Magnetic flux of 8 into 10 to the minus 4 Weber is linked with each turn of a coil having 200 turns, okay, where an electric current of 4 ampere is flowing in it. Self-inductance of the coil is. So here flux per unit turn is given. It's a single coil and flux per unit turn is given. So total flux that will be there will be equal to number of turns multiplied by flux of one single turn. And this, we know that it is proportional to the current. And when you convert that proportionality into equality, you get a constant, which is coefficient of self-induction or simply self-inductance. Unit is Henry. So total flux is equal to L into I. So number of turns are 200. Flux for every turn is 8 into 10 raised to minus 4. And current value is 4 ampere. Current value is 4 ampere. So this 4 and this 8 cancel, that will be 2. So we have 400 into 10 raised to minus 4 equal to L. But we want the answer in milli, so adjust the decimal. This will be 40 into 10 raised to minus 3 Henry. That is 40 millihenry. Correct answer will be C. Easy. Let's go. Next question. From a P town, bus starts at a regular interval. Bus starts at a regular interval of 20 seconds. So after every 20 seconds, one bus is starting, and they all run towards town Q. They all run towards town Q with a constant speed of 50 kilometers per hour. At some point, all the buses simultaneously have to reduce their speed at all times. So they all maintain same speed, but because of some reason, all the buses which were there between town P and Q had to drop their speed to 40 kilometers per hour. Everybody at the same time, they dropped their speed to 40 kilometers per hour for some reason. Now the question is, we know the interval at which the buses were going from town P. The question is, if they drop their speed, so what will be the interval at which the speed will arrive in town Q? What will be the interval? That means the time spent between two buses when they will arrive. Now that time will be different because now they are not moving with the same speed. Their speed is different now. So they will take more time to cover the same journey. So the space between them or time between them will change because all of them have reduced their speed because of some reason. So if we calculate how much distance bus will cover initially, okay, in that one duration. So that will be 50 kilometers per hour. Okay, I know it is in kilometer per hour. So 5 by 18 into 20. This is the distance. I'm multiplying, first of all, velocity given in kilometer per hour converted to meter per second, and that velocity multiplied by time. That will give us the distance. So this is the distance traveled by the bus initially. Now, finally, when the buses will arrive, buses have to cover this distance. When the buses will arrive at a point Q, I mean in town Q, this is the distance that bus have to cover. Okay, because this is the start. This is the distance between them initially. Okay, so now how much time it will take to cover this distance, that we have to figure out. So to cover same distance, they have speed of 40 kilometer per hour, again 5 by 18. Okay, so how much time it takes is T. Okay, so interesting question, no lengthy calculation, but you have to think carefully here. So 5 by 18 cancel, 0, and or we can just say altogether 20 and 40 cancel, this is 2. So time will be 50 by 2, that is 25 seconds. Okay, so option D is correct. Let me help you one more time. Pay attention, everybody. Pay attention. So now buses are leaving town P at a fixed speed of 50 km per hour, and duration between the distance between the time distance between the two buses is 20 seconds interval. Okay, and now during the journey they all have to drop their speed to 40 for some reason, and now we are observing in town Q where all the buses are heading at what interval they are arriving. So when first bus will arrive, that bus has to cover the distance that was there between first and second bus. First bus will arrive, I will start my stopwatch. The second bus to arrive at the town Q has to cover the initial distance, initial gap between them. There was initial gap between them, right? So now when I will say second bus has arrived, when the initial gap between them will be covered, then I will say yes, second bus is also arrived at point Q or town Q. So that distance will be created by the initial interval. So initial speed will be 50 kilometer per hour, so converted to meter per second, and that multiplied by time. So this is the separation or distance between every two buses, right? And this is at the time of going from, okay, departure from P. Now when they will arrive at Q, they have to cover that distance. So first bus reaches, then when I will say second bus reaches, that original initial distance between them, if that is covered, then it will reach town Q. So to cover that same distance, how much time it takes? So its speed is 40. How much time it takes? It takes 3 seconds. So buses will arrive at the other town Q at the interval of 25 seconds. Okay, that's the logic. So it's more about thinking is very less about diagrams or heavy calculations. It's a very interesting, fun problem. So if you're finding it difficult to imagine, take a break. Okay, close your eyes and imagine motion happening. Okay, this solution you can watch any n number of times. Listen to the solution again, and then try to visualize the motion. Then try to calculate the same thing. Okay, so you'll do better. Don't worry. Next question. From the top of the tower, height is 20 meter. Two balls are projected. One with a speed of 20 meter per second at an angle of 30 degree with the horizontal upwards. Okay, and second ball with the speed of same 20 meter per second at an angle of 30 degree with the horizontal in downward direction. Distance between the balls when they land on the ground will be. So first of all, let's draw a tower. That's first thing. And this is the ground. This is the reference level. This is okay. And there are two balls which are thrown with same velocity, same speed, but one is same angle, but one is above horizontal and one is below horizontal. So this is also 30 degree. Okay. And this is also 30 degree. So we know how the bodies will move. So the first particle which is thrown, the particle which is thrown down, body which is thrown down will travel like this, will land here. And the one which is shot upward will go up first and then it will land on the ground. Right? So we have to figure out distance between the balls when they will land on the ground. So this to this distance we have to calculate. Now there are of course two ways to solve the problem. Okay, two ways to solve the problem. First, to analyze projectile motion as combination of two perpendicular one-dimensional motion. Calculate range for both the motions. Okay, let's say this is particle number 1, this is particle number 2. Right? So I will calculate range of particle number 2 minus range of particle number 1, and that will be the separation between them. This is one approach to solve the question. But that will be a lengthier approach because we have to resolve vectors, then study x direction, y direction, then calculate time, and then from that you will get displacement in x direction. Same for the other part. So there will be decent amount of calculation where you have to resolve each vector and solve x direction separately, y direction separately. Tower height is given. We will use that in the calculation. But there is a shorter way to solve the problem, and the shorter way is by knowing projectile motion very well. So if you consider this level to be the ground, just stay with me. If you consider this to be the level ground, then you know that if it is shot at an angle of 30 degree, it will again come back at the same level with the same speed and same angle. Just instead of plus 30, it will be minus 30 now. Right? Understood? So if I assume this to be the ground, if there's nothing below this, if this is the ground, if you assume like this is the ground, then it will land with the same speed and same angle. Clear? So now notice carefully, beyond this point, this motion and this motion is identical. They're going to do the same motion beyond that point. Visualize this. Beyond that point, they're going to do the same motion. Okay. So if I calculate this range, this range, then this range and this distance will be same to same because the rest of the motion is same. So it's same to same motion. So they will not travel together, but the path, projection, journey, velocity, everything will be same. So instead of solving for this, because for the remaining of the motion is not increasing or decreasing distance between them. So you can just find out range here and get the job done. Okay. So think carefully. It will come back with the same angle with the same speed. Particle number 2. And this particle number 1, that motion is identical. So this motion and this motion is identical. So to get this distance, we have to calculate range if it was a ground to ground projectile. So range formula in ground to ground projectile is u square sine 2 theta upon g. So u value is speed 20 square, okay, into sine theta. Theta value is 30 degree and g value 10. So this will be 400 upon 10. Sine 60 is root 3 by 2. So 0, 0 cancel. 40 and 2 cancel. 20 root 3 meter. 20 root 3 A is correct answer. Clear? The other approach is lengthier, where you have to calculate this range first, R1, then calculate this range, R2, and then subtract. Clear? Let's go to next question. In the given experiment, if the lift is moving upwards with an acceleration of g by 2, lift is moving upwards with an acceleration of g by 2, then force exerted by the string on the ceiling will be. So this force we have to calculate. Force exerted by the string on the ceiling will be. So if I stand in the same elevator and I'm observing the motion, so for me it's now outwards machine. For me it's outwards machine now. For somebody who is in the elevator, it's outward machine, and the entire thing is going upward with an acceleration g/2. So I am the observer. I also have acceleration. If observer have acceleration, then we call it as non-inertial frame. So here we have to consider a fake force called as pseudo force. Correct? So let's calculate. So pseudo force will be downward, because of which you will get a pseudo acceleration. The real g is already downward. So the effective, we will say effective g effective will be g/2 plus g, that is 3g/2. Clear? Now to solve for tension, first of all we will calculate for tension in the string. So that will be 2m1 m2 g effective upon m1 plus m2. So mass is 2m into m. Effective g value is 3g/2. Total mass is 3m. m gone, 2 and 2 gone. Okay. And this also gone. So tension will be equal to 3mg. This is tension value. But in which thread? This is tension in the thread connected to the blocks. We are interested in a different thread. Let me highlight that thread. That thread is this. Okay. So here we will use property of an ideal pulley. For an ideal pulley, tension in the connected string is twice the tension in the passing string. I'm calling this is the string which is passing over the pulley. In that thread, tension is 3mg. So the one which is connected, tension in the connected string is twice the tension in the passing string. So this will be, sorry, here I have made some calculation mistake. 3 is cancelled. So it is just mg. This is the tension. And to m1 m2 g effective. I have missed one of the two I have missed, so let's add that as well. So 2 from the formula should also be there, which I did not include. So let's correct that. So 2 into first mass 2m, second mass m, into g effective divided by total mass 3m. Okay. So the cancellation will work. 2 to cancel, m cancel, 3 cancel. And what are we getting here? 2mg. 2mg is the tension in the string which is passing over the pulley. Okay. Now we have to calculate tension in the string which is connected to the ceiling. Now here the entire pulley is going upward, but we always consider ideal pulley. So for ideal pulley there will be no net mass, there will be no mass. So always remember, tension in the connected string, the one which is connected to the pulley, is twice the tension in the passing string, the one which is passing over the pulley. So here tension in the string which is passing over the pulley is 2mg. So the connected one will be 2 into 2mg. That is 4mg. This is our final answer. 4mg is D. Fine. Let's go. Next question. 64 drops of mercury. Okay. Each charged to potential of 10 volt. They are combined to form one big drop. Potential of this drop will be, assume all drops to be spherical. Okay. So let's say charge on every single drop is Q. Charge on every single drop is Q. And likewise, there are 64 of them. And they all combine to form a big drop. Radius of every small drop is smaller. And radius of the bigger drop is capital R. How much charge will be there on the big sphere? It will be 64 times Q, because charge will be simply added. Okay. So what is potential of this drop? That is what you have to figure out. So potential will be equal to K Q upon R. So K, as it is, Q is total charge on the sphere, which is 64 into Q upon its radius is capital R. So capital R we know can be replaced as we have used in one of the previous question as well. R is equal to n raised to 1 by 3 into small r. Here how many of them are? 64 of them. So capital R will be equal to 64 raised to 1 by 3 equal into small r. So what is this? This is 4 cube. So 4 times r. So let me write down capital R value as well, which is 4 times r. So we can simplify this. 64 and 4 will give us 16 and kq by r. But they have given us potential of each drop. So each drops, if I calculate potential of one single drop, it will be k q upon small r. Likewise, potential of every single drop will be there. So kq by r. So this is given to you as 10 volt. This is the potential of every single drop, which is given to you as 10 volt. So notice carefully, we have this ready here, kq by r. So we can put that value. And then the potential of the big drop will be 160 volt. So A is the answer. Clear? Conservation of volume will give us the relation between radius. Total initial charge will be equal to total final charge. That will give us the final charge on the potential. Initially, every drop will have same potential 10. So from that, we get the value of kq by r. Okay, and then calculate potential of the bigger drop. Let's go. Next question. A charged particle q, m, so charge and mass, enters the magnetic field B with a velocity at an angle of 37 degree with the magnetic field direction. So this is the magnetic field direction, and the particle enters at an angle of 37 degree. This is the velocity, and this is the magnetic field. The pitch of the resulting path followed by the charged particle will be. So this is a typical question of magnetic effect of current. If the velocity and magnetic field are making acute angle, the path will be not straight line, not just uniform circular motion. It will be a combination of both. So it will be helical path. Okay. So we have to calculate what is going to be the pitch in this helix. So path will be like this. So we have to get the pitch value. This is pitch, which is equal to the component of the velocity in the direction of magnetic field. That is V cos 37. Okay, that is component of the velocity in the direction of magnetic field multiplied by time period. That is time required to complete one round. So time period is 2 pi m by qb. And now it's time to substitute all the values. V as it is cos 37 will be equal to 3 by cos 37. So this will be 4 by 5. Okay, into 2 pi small m upon qb. So if you multiply 4 2, that will be 8 pi mv upon 5 qb. So A will be correct answer here. Okay, direct formula application question. Let's go to the next question. Magnetic needle lying parallel to a magnetic field requires W units of work to turn to 60 degree. Okay, so if the magnetic needle is lying in the magnetic field, it will orient itself in the direction of magnetic field. Like this. This is magnetic field and this is needle. Needle's magnetic moment is, let's say, M. And it's just lying in the magnetic field, so it will align in the direction of magnetic field. That's where it will obtain stable equilibrium. Now the question says that if you have to twist it by 60 degree, then the amount of work that you need to do is W. So let's calculate that work. How much work we need to do? So work done in this case will be equal to magnetic moment into magnetic field cos of theta 1, that is initial angle, which is 0, minus cos of theta 2, which is 60 degree. So M into B, cos 0 is 1, cos 60 is half. So this is W. This is they have defined W in the first line, and now we need to solve the question. W was just to tell you that what is W. W is work done to rotate the magnetic needle lying in the magnetic field by 60 degree. This is not what we have to calculate. We have to calculate something else, and that is in the next statement. The external torque required to maintain the magnetic needle in this position. The external torque required to maintain the magnetic field in this position, maintain the needle in this position. So 60 degree we have twisted it 60 degree. But if you wish to maintain that, then how much external torque we have to apply? So we have to apply that much torque, which is magnetic field applying on it. Right now it is tilted with respect to magnetic field. So magnetic field is applying some torque. If you twist it by 60 degree, magnetic field is applying some torque. So we have to apply equal and opposite amount of torque. Then magnet can stay, or needle can stay in that orientation. Otherwise, it will just come back to the stable equilibrium condition, aligning in the direction, aligning magnetic field. So we have to apply torque, which is equal to the torque applied by magnetic field. we have to apply the torque, which is equal to the torque applied by magnetic field. So that torque value will be equal to mb sine theta, correct? So mb can be replaced as, see, we can make a substitution for mb. M into b can be replaced as 2 into w. So let's do that because options are in terms of w only. So let's replace this as 2 into w, and theta is 60 degree. Okay, so 2 into w, sine 60 is root 3 by 2, 2 to cancel. So root 3 into w, that is your answer. D correct answer. Fine. Next question. A beam of fast moving electrons coming from an electron gun is diffracted through a narrow aperture. Okay, so de Broglie hypothesis, electron is showing wave nature, diffraction is a property of wave. Angular width of the central maximum would increase if, okay, so now recollect angular width of central maximum. So this is a question of diffraction, which is wave optics plus modern physics. So width, angular width of central maxima is equal to 2 lambda by A. Okay, it is 2 lambda capital D by A. That is for the location, but here you want angular width, so it is equal to 2 lambda by A. Okay, so this is the angular width of the central maximum. Okay, wait, 1 lambda, n lambda capital D by small a, capital D will go on the other side. Fine, this is the formula for angular width. Now if you increase wavelength, how will you increase wavelength? See, first of all, this is not wavelength of light, this is wavelength of electron. So we are talking about matter wave here. We are talking about, yes, de Broglie hypothesis. So that wavelength is being talked about, and we know there are various formulas to get that wavelength. If I rewrite the formula, de Broglie hypothesis tells us that it is h upon p. Okay, further p is of course mass into velocity. P can be also written as under root of 2m into kinetic energy. And for charged particle, we can also write the same thing as charge into potential difference. Charge into potential difference is the work done to give the kinetic energy to the charged particle. So notice that if angular width is angular width of the central maximum is increasing. If the angular width is increasing, that means wavelength of the matter wave should increase. So for wavelength to increase, notice that wavelength is inversely proportional to root of potential. So for wavelength to increase, applied voltage to give kinetic energy to the charged particle should decrease. Okay, should decrease. So screen is moved towards the aperture. See, the angular width does not depend on the screen, capital D, screen distance. It depends on the wavelength, depends on the aperture width. Then aperture width is increased. If you increase aperture width, then angular width will decrease. It's inverse relation with, this is the aperture width, slit width. Then number of electrons in the beam is increased without changing the accelerating voltage in the gun. So the number of electrons will increase, so that will give you more bright band. Bright bands will be more brighter, that's all. But they all have same velocity, so they all will have same wavelength, they all will have same angular width of central maxima, just they will be more in count, that's all. So brightness of the interference pattern will be better, but that's all. Now the last answer, accelerating voltage in the gun will be decreased. So as I discussed, when V decreases, voltage used to give kinetic energy to the electrons or to the charged particle, if that voltage decreases, then de Broglie wavelength will increase, and if the wavelength increases, then the angular width of the central maxima will also increase. So that answer is option D. Fine. Next question. Now this is a simple formula application question. Given atomic mass of lithium, helium, and the amount of energy released in the reaction where the mass of proton is also mentioned. So it's a very straightforward formula application question. Energy, Q value of the reaction is delta M into C square, and a practical version is delta M into 931.5 mega electron volt, and mass should be in AMU. So delta M, that is mass of reactants, total mass of reactants minus total mass of product. This is mass defect into 931.5 mega electron volt. So mass of reactants will be lithium. Lithium is 7.0160. and 1 proton. So proton's mass is 1.0073 minus product is only 1 alpha particle or 2 alpha particles. Product is 2 alpha particle. Okay, so there are 2 alpha particles, then 2 into mass of helium nucleus. Helium nucleus is alpha particle, that is 4.0026. Okay, into 931.5. Now it's a simple calculation. Okay, do the math, you will get the answer. This is not a difficult calculation. I think answer is A. Let's check, not sure. Answer is A. Yes. Clear? Simple formula substitution. There's nothing fancy here. No twist and turns. Basic formula. There are 2 formulas to find out Q value of the reaction. One is this, mass defect into C square, mass of reactants minus mass of product into 931.5. And the other is binding energy of the products minus binding energy of the reactants. That is the other formula. Moving on. An immersion water heater, 1000 watt, is to be used to heat 20 liter of water from 10 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius. Assume that 90% of the water input is power input is being used in heating the water. So we have to assume efficiency to be 90%. Then time required to heat this water will be nearly equal to. Okay. So efficiency is 90%. Efficiency is output power upon input power into 100. Efficiency 90%. Output is heating the given water. So that is mass of the water, right? Then specific heat capacity of water into delta T. But this is just energy absorbed by the water divided by time. That will be the power. Okay. And input power is given to you already, which is 1000 into 100. So these 2 zeros and these 2 zeros gone. This will be multiplied over there. We'll get 900. Okay. Now mass of the water can be written as density of the water into volume of water. Specific heat capacity of water will be 4.2. If I solve in SI unit, it will be 4.2. Then delta T is change in temperature, which is 25 minus 10, 15. Okay. And what we have to calculate? We have to calculate time. So time is in there in the denominator. Now what we have to do? We have to substitute all the values carefully. Okay. This is, if you solve in CGS, then you will get answer in calories. I mean, if I don't convert right now, and then final answer can be converted. Fine. Okay, so we'll rearrange this now. T goes up. Density of water is 1000 SI unit. Okay, and volume is 20 liters. So 1 liter is 10 raised to minus 3 meter cube. So 20 into 10 raised to minus 3. This is the volume. Okay, mass, specific heat capacity, and temperature. So this 900 will go down in the denominator, and specific heat capacity will be 1. Okay, so this is our answer. This is our answer for time, but the answer will be in seconds. We have to convert this into minutes by dividing 60, by dividing by 60 degree. So density given, volume is written, then change in temperature is also written, 90% efficiency considered. Time is what you have to find out. Okay, time goes up, 90 comes down. This will become 900 in the denominator. Density of water is 1000. Okay, then volume is 20 liter, but liter converted to meter, that is 10 raised to minus 3. 15 is the change in temperature, and specific heat capacity is 1 calorie per gram. Okay, so 1 calorie per gram. So this is going to be a problem. We have to convert this into joule. This is 1 calorie per gram. So we have to multiply by 4.2 into 10 raised to 3. Okay, so this is conversion of specific heat in terms of kg per meter cube. I mean SI units, I mean to say. Okay, so now simplify this. 10 raised to plus 3, 10 raised to minus 3 will be gone. The rest of the numbers, this will be 15 into 2, 30, and one more 0 into 4 4200. Correct? 4200 divided by 900. So this is a perfect division, but this answer will be in seconds. We have to get answer in minutes as per the options. So this will be divided by 60. Then the answer will be in minutes. Now you can complete the calculation. Okay, let's go. Next question. Average degree of freedom of molecule of an ideal gas is 5. Okay, so degree of freedom is given. Gas performs 100 joules of work when it expands at constant pressure. Okay, gas performs 100 joules of work when it expands at a constant pressure. Heat absorbed by the gas is equal to. Okay, so degree of freedom is given. Degree of freedom is given. It is 5. So from this we can figure out CV and CP. CP before CP we will get CV. We can calculate CV value. Formula is F into R by 2. So 5 into R by 2. Then CP, that is F plus 2 into R by 2. So 7 R by 2. And now the question says that it is expanding at a constant pressure and how much it is absorbed. So for such scenario, we have a direct formula which is N CP delta T. N CP delta T. Okay. So this is what we have to calculate. N number of moles are not given. CP value is standard value, which we can put. Delta T is also not given, but work done is given. Gas performs how much work, that is given to us, and that work is happening at constant pressure, right? So pressure is constant and work is happening. So work done when the pressure is constant, work done when the pressure is constant is PdV. Okay. Now PdV or P delta V can be also written as R N delta T. PV is equal to nRT. So P into delta V also written as N in R into delta T. So this is work done, and that work done value is available as 100 joule. Okay, gas performs this work, so positive work. N number of moles are constant and delta T. So now notice that we can substitute a few values here. So what I will do, I will write a CP formula. CP formula is 7 into R by 2 into delta T. Okay, so NR delta T substitution is ready. So 7 and 2 aside, NR delta T is 100. So 7 by 2. So we'll use this value over here. This will be 100. And that gives you 350 joule as the answer. See the answer here. Clear? Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question on your screen. An ideal monatomic gas follows the process U by V raised to 2 by 3 is equal to constant, where U is internal energy, V is volume of the gas. The ratio of the work done by the gas to heat supplied to it is. Okay. So what we can do, we can notice that U by V raised to 2 by 3. U by V raised to 2 by 3 is constant. U by V raised to 2 by 3 is constant. So U value will be internal energy, V is volume. So internal energy is a function of temperature. So we can write T into V raised to minus 2 by 3 is equal to constant. Then we can write temperature by using ideal gas equation. Temperature can be written as PV upon NR. So let's do that. So P into V upon NR into V raised to minus 2 by 3 is equal to constant. So upon simplification, this is V raised to 1. P as it is, this is 1 minus 2 by 3. That is 1 by 3 equal to constant. So now you can look at this. This is a polytropic process. If I compare it to PV raised to R constant, so R value is equal to 1 by 3. So from this we can calculate work done. We can calculate molar specific capacity. So work done in this case will be equal to P1 V1 minus P2 V2 upon R minus 1, which can be written as NR T1 minus T2, and R value is 1 by 3 minus 1. So this would be minus 2 by 3. So minus 3 will move up, nRT T1 minus T2, and 2 will be in the denominator. Okay, 1 by 3 minus 1, that will be minus 2 by 3. So it will be minus 3 by 2. So if I take that minus inside, that will become T2 minus T1. So we have 3 nR delta T. T2 minus T1 is change in temperature upon 2. Fine. Now, to calculate heat supplied, we need to know what is C, molar specific capacity. So C value will be equal to, for a polytropic process, C value will be equal to CV plus R upon small r minus 1. Okay. Now, you know CV value, since it's a monatomic gas, CV value is 3 into R by 2. And R value, as we discussed, it is 1 by 2. Sorry, 1 by 3. 1 by 3 minus 1. So we can simplify this. So 3R by 2 as it is. This will move up. This will move up. And that would be, here there's a correction. Here there's a correction. That would be minus 3. Minus minus plus 3R by 2. Okay. So what can we say here? What can we say? This is R value half, 1 by 3 minus 1. Formula has minus sign, minus minus adjusted. So this will be 6R by 2, that is equal to 3R. So now we can calculate delta Q. So delta Q is equal to NC delta T. So NC value is 3R into delta T. Now comes the time of ratio. So to get the ratio of work done to heat supplied. So work done, we have got the value of work done over here. That is 3 by 2 N R delta T divided by delta Q value is N 3R delta T. So delta T gone, 3R gone. Okay. N gone, remaining is 1 by 2. So D is correct answer. Okay. So use of this formula is important in this particular chapter, in this particular question. Let's go to next question. A circular hole of radius 1 centimeter in a brass sheet is kept at 293 Kelvin when the sheet is heated to 120 degrees Celsius. Okay, when the sheet is heated to 120 degrees Celsius, the diameter of the hole, considering coefficient of linear expansion to be 2 into 10 raised to minus 2, will increase by decrease by. So first of all, sheet is being heated, so sheet will expand and the hole will also expand. It's a photographic expansion. Everything will increase in proportion. If heated, and everything will decrease in proportion. Proportions will not change. If it is uniformly heated, proportions will remain same. Now we have to calculate change in diameter. Okay, diameter will increase definitely. So C is not possible, and then the rest of the values are there. Some of them are in millimeters, some of them in centimeters. So what is the initial temperature? Initial temperature is 293 Kelvin. What is the final temperature? 120 plus 273. So 393 Kelvin. So that is the T2, new temperature. So what we can say, we have area. Area will increase. We have to get the change in the diameter. Initial radius is available. Okay. So from the initial radius, we can get area. Area of the hole will be equal to pi r square. Correct? If I convert this into fractional change, then taking log on both sides, ln of a equal to ln of pi plus 2 into ln of r. Correct? So ln of pi, as it is ln of a and 2 ln of r. Differentiate this, that will give us dA upon a. Derivative of constant will be 0 to dr upon r. Derivative of ln of r 1 by r. So this is the change in area per unit area, and this is change in radius upon original radius. This can be also written as change in diameter upon original diameter, right? So 2 into dr upon 2r can be written as change in diameter. So let's write down like this: 2 multiplied, 2 divided. So this term will form change in diameter. Okay, let's make that change at the end only. What we can do regarding the change in radius, or we can directly go for radius is going to be photographic expansion. So why to even go for the area, because they have not even given us uh, coefficient of areal expansion. Directly linear expansion is given, so we will use formula L is equal to L naught bracket 1 plus alpha delta T. So open the bracket, L equal to L naught plus L naught alpha delta T. So rearrange this is L minus L naught upon L naught, or L minus L naught equal to L naught alpha delta T. So the difference in the length will be delta L. Original length radius is 2 centimeter, so radius will be double, diameter will be 2 centimeter original. Alpha value is given to in the question, 2 into 10 to power minus 5. Okay, this is in centimeter, remember that. And change in temperature is 100, 393 minus 293, so 100 degree or 100 Kelvin is change in temperature. So this will become 2 into 2 4 and 10 raised to minus 3. So delta L, this is after adjustment, and this is in centimeters because we substituted L naught in centimeter. So is this available? It is increasing by 0. Yes, it is available. It is option A. Okay, A is correct answer. Clear? Let's go. Next question. 5 capacitors are connected in series having effective capacitance 8 microfarad. When one of the capacitor is removed, the effective capacitance becomes 12 microfarad. Then the removed capacitor's capacitance is. Okay, interesting question. So when all of them were there, effective capacitance in the first case is 8. So 1 by 8 will be equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3 plus 1 by C4 plus 1 by C5. Okay, series combination opposite to resistors in parallel combination. So this is initial value. Now what you do, you remove one of them. So let's say C5 is removed. Then the new value that you get is 1 by 12. So now if you remove one of them, then the effective becomes 12. So this entire equation can be replaced in this term. Okay, if I observe the first equation, the first 4 terms can be written as 1 by 12. So 1 by 8 and then 1 by 12 is equal to 1 by C5, or that unknown C. 1 by 8 minus 1 by 12 is equal to 1 by C5. This will be cross multiplied. So 4 in the numerator, 12 minus 8, 4 upon 8 into 12 is equal to 1 by C5. So this and this cancel. So that unknown capacitor will be 24 microfarad. Okay, C5 is just a name I have given. It could be any capacitor removed. That doesn't matter. Answer is 24 microfarad. So D is correct answer. Clear? Let's go. Next question. In the network shown, point A, B, and C are potentials of 70 volt, 0 volt, and 10 volt respectively. Then some statements are made, and we have to figure out which statement is correct and which statement is wrong. Point D is at potential of 20 volt. Current in the section AD, DB, DC, okay, are in the ratio of 1:2:3. Network draws total power of 100 watt. Network draws total power of 200 watt. So first let's start with potential of point D. Let's assume the potential to be X volt. And here we will apply KCL in a different way. It is also called as nodal analysis, where the junction is considered to be at the highest potential and the all currents are outward. So for current in DA portion, I can write X minus 70 upon the resistance 10. Okay. Plus for the DB portion, X minus 0. X minus 0 upon resistance 20. Then X minus 10 upon resistance 30 equal to 0. Okay. X assumed at higher potential. So X minus 70, X minus 0, X minus 10. This is the potential difference divided by the resistance 10, 20, 30 respectively. So now in this case, unknown is only one, which is X. So we can cancel this 0, 0 and 0. We can take it common and shift on the other side. That is gone. So now common is 6. So this will be 6x minus 70. This will be 3x and this will be 2x minus 10. Common denominator will be 6, which is shifted to the other side. Gone. So 6x minus 70 into 6 plus 3x plus 2x minus 20 equal to 0. Okay, so just open the bracket, simplify now. This is basic calculation now. So we have 5x and this is 6x. That will become 11x equal to this minus will become plus and this will be plus. Shift it on the other side. So this gives us 440. That means x is equal to 10 volt. X is equal to 10 volt. If x is equal to 10 volt, is option A correct? No, option A is not correct. Now, if current is, if the x is 10 volt, then there is no current in this portion. Oh, this is not 10. This is going to be 40. This is going to be 40 volt. So x is 40. So potential is definitely not 20. So that part is wrong. Current, if you calculate in each branch, current in this branch, if I know the potential now to be 40 volt, so we can calculate current in each branch. Current in the AD branch will be potential difference 70 minus 40, 30, 30 upon 10. That will be 3. Then 70 minus 40, 40 minus 0, 40 divided by 20. That is 2. Okay. And this is 40 minus 10, 30, 30 divided by 30, 1. Okay. So current in AD is 3. Current in DB is 2. And current in DC is 1. But here the order is wrong. You can see it is 1 is to 2 is to 3. If it was 3 is to 2 is to 1, then it would be correct. So that's why B is also wrong. Then we have to calculate power. So to calculate power here, we have to calculate power for individual piece. And then we will get the total power. So we already know the current value and we already know the resistance. So we can use I square R. So current in the AD part is 3. I hope you understood the current calculation. Just putting value of x here, we will get current in this part. X value here, current in this part. X value here, we will get current in this part. Okay. So I square R, resistance is 10 and current is 3, square 9. Plus the other current is 2, I square, so 4 into resistance 20. Then resistance 30 into I square, current is 1. Square is 1. So what are we getting here? This is 90 plus 80 plus 30. Okay. So this is 200 watt. So correct answer is option D. If D is correct answer, then C cannot be the correct answer. Both of them are describing the same thing. So D is the correct answer. Total power consumed is 200 watt. Let's go. Next question. The full scale deflection current of a galvanometer is 1 milliampere. Its coil has a resistance of 100 ohm. The value of shunt required to increase the range to 5 amperes. So here we will use direct formula, current to be measured by using galvanometer, which is converted to ammeter. I equal to Ig into G plus S upon S. So we wish to measure current up to 5 ampere. That's the maximum current. If the current is maximum, then the current in the galvanometer is also maximum. So the maximum current that galvanometer can sustain is 1 milliampere. So that is 10 raised to minus 3. Okay. The galvanometer itself has a resistance of 100 ohm. And we have to figure out the resistance of shunt. So shunt resistance we have to figure out. So this will be moved on the other side. It will become 5,000. Okay, 5,000 into S is equal to 100 plus S. So if you ignore this S, because it's going to be 499 after subtraction. So if you ignore that, it is 100 upon 5,000. So 0 gone. Okay, 1 by 5 will be 0.2 divided by 10. So 0.02. So 0.02 ohm is the shunt that we need. 0.02, that means option D is correct. Okay. Here we have to ignore that 1x. This 1s we have to ignore. It will be 5,000 minus 1. So 4,999. So not necessary. peak value of the alternating voltage V equal to 3 into sine of omega t plus 5 into cos of omega t volt is dash, or sorry, under root of n. What is the value of n? Peak value. Okay. So here you can see that the voltage is addition of two alternating voltages. The voltage value itself is addition of two alternating voltages. So we can get the net voltage by phasor or by completing squares method. You can complete the squares, which you might have learned in mathematics, and then try to make sine a plus b formula or cos a plus b formula, cos of a plus b, okay, sine of a plus b by completing square. Or you can just go for phasor, that is easiest. So if I have to plot 3 sine omega t, then let's say t value is 0. So this is how your first vector will be, first phasor will be. I'm assuming omega t to be 0, angle 0. And this is cos omega t, can be written as sine 90 plus theta. So cos can be written as 5 sine of omega t plus pi by 2. Okay. And this is as it is. So your amplitude is 5, length is 5, and angle is pi by 2. So pi by 2 will be here. If you measure angle pi by 2, positive angle pi by 2, so anti-clockwise, pi by 2 means y-axis. And this is 5. Now, if you calculate resultant of these two, that would be under root of 5 square plus 3 square. Okay. And that is the peak value, which they have said equal to root n. So squaring on both sides. So this will be 25 plus 9 equal to n. Okay. Clear? So this will be 34. Sorted? So you can, when you draw phasor, what do? You basically take the angle of the vector, angle of the given term as the angle of the vector, peak value of the given term to be the length of the vector. And then you treat them like vectors. This is basically called as phasor algebra. Okay. Otherwise, completing square methods, if you are a math student and you know how to solve completing square, that is also available. Cool. Sorted. Now, moving on to the next question. An electron in hydrogen atom undergoes a transition from an orbit with quantum number ni to another quantum number nf. Vi and Vf are the initial and final potential energies of the electron, and Vi by Vf is equal to 6.25. Then the smallest possible nf is equal to. Okay. So first of all, potential energy is minus. See, this is how bio knowledge to physicist, negative. So we know binding energy or ionization energy, K is kinetic energy, T is total energy, P is potential energy. So total energy formula everybody knows it is. So potential energy, if you just rearrange this, it is twice of total energy if you just use these two terms. So minus 13.6 z square by n square. So potential energy will be minus 2 into 13.6 z square by n square. We're solving for hydrogen now, so z value will be 1, no need. So this is your formula for potential energy in nth orbit. Okay. So 27.2 divided by n square. Answer will be in electron volt. So what they have given, they have given us ratio of the potential energy. So you can notice that potential energy is inversely proportional to n square. Potential energy is inversely proportional to n square. So potential energy is inversely proportional to n square. So we can write down P initial upon P final is equal to n final upon n initial, the whole square. N final upon, in its inverse relation, right? So potential energy initial upon final is equal to final upon initial, the whole square. So this ratio of potential energy, letter use is different, but we have the answer for ratio, which is 6.25. Okay, 6.25, we can write it as 625 upon 100 also. That is equal to n final upon n initial, the whole square. Now, can we take square root on both sides? Yes. If I take square root on both sides, this will be 25. 100 will be 10 is equal to n final upon n initial. Now, see, n is principal quantum number, so it will be in integers. So we can further simplify this. This will be divided by 5. So 5 by 2. Okay, we can't do further simplification and still maintain integer. Okay, now if you further simplify them, now it will go into fractions. So we have to solve for the smallest possible value of nf, and that is 5. Smallest possible value of nf is 5. Okay. Next question. A microscope has an eyepiece of focal length 5 centimeter. Magnification produced by the objective of microscope is -6. If the final image is formed at least distance of distant vision, then find the magnitude of the magnification produced by the microscope. Okay, so magnification of microscope, and there is objective lens and there is eyepiece lens. Microscope has eyepiece length of focal length. Okay, this is okay, cool. So the basic idea is this: MO into ME. When you go for magnifying power of microscope, this is compound microscope. There are two lenses, objective and eyepiece. So MO into ME. So in the question, they have given us magnifying power of objective, and that is -6. That is -6. We have to get the total magnification, but for which case? When the image is at DDV. So when the image is at DDV, the second lens of simple microscope still behaves like a simple microscope. So when the image is at DDV, magnifying power will be 1 plus D by FE. So just put the value now, -6 into 1 plus D is 25 FE. Focal length of eyepiece is 5. So this is perfect division, 5 plus 1, 6. So -36. Here we will just put the magnitude, which is 36. Done? Clear, everybody? Clear. Now, moving on to the next question. We are given with two simple harmonic motions, y1 and y2. They superimpose on single particle. The resultant amplitude will be. So this is basic principle of composition of two SHM. When two SHMs having same omega, when they will superimpose on each other, the resultant will be vector sum. The final amplitude will be vector sum. So we will use this formula. A is equal to under root of A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 cos of delta phi. Delta phi here I'm using as a phase difference between them. So what will be phase difference between these two? So first we don't have to rearrange this, or it's fine if you do it. We can keep this as sine and convert this cos into sine. So y2 can be written as 8 sine of 2 pi t plus pi by 2. Okay, sine of 90 plus theta is cos theta. So notice now, this is second equation. What is the phase difference between them? What is the phase difference between them? Phase difference is 0. Phase difference is 0. So delta phi is equal to 0. So if delta phi is 0, then what we can say? A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2. Cos 0 is 1. So this can be further simplified as A1 plus A2. The whole square under the root, it is expansion of A plus B the whole square. And that gives us net amplitude as A1 plus A2. So here amplitude is 6 for the first wave, and for the second wave it is 8. Okay. So that gives us final amplitude to be 40. Okay, clear? Now last question, everybody pay attention. There's a pipe of length L1 closed at one end, is kept in a gas chamber having density rho. The second pipe, which is open at both ends. Okay, so there is one pipe which is closed at one end. Okay, density is rho 1, length is L1. The second pipe is placed in a second chamber where the density of gas is different. That is, this pipe is open at both ends. So the other pipe is open pipe, and here the density is rho 2. Okay, and they have both have same compressibility. So their bulk modulus is same. Both the gases have different density, but their bulk modulus will be same. Compressibility is reciprocal of bulk modulus. If the frequency of the first overtone in both cases are equal, frequency of first overtone in both the cases are equal, then the length of second pipe is given as n times L1. We have to get the value of n here. Okay, so this is the key part of the question. First overtone in both the cases are equal. So first overtone, pay attention, first overtone of CP, closed pipe, is equal to first overtone of OP, open pipe. Now we know that in closed pipe only odd harmonics are there. So first overtone is third harmonic. Xth overtone is 2x plus 1th harmonic. So 2 plus 1 into 2, 2 plus 1, 3. Third harmonic. So 3 times fundamental frequency of closed pipe. And for open pipe, all harmonics are present. So first overtone is directly second harmonic. Xth overtone is x plus 1th harmonic. So second harmonic, so 2 times fundamental frequency of open pipe. Now we can put the formula for frequency, fundamental frequency. So here 1 upon, for closed pipe it will be 4L, okay, 4LC into V. V will be velocity of sound, but velocity of sound is bulk modulus divided by rho. Rho 1 I will use here. Okay, if you remember, for string we used to use under root of T by mu. Here it is. Or for any other material we use Y by rho also. For gas we will use B, bulk modulus, that is elasticity, and rho is density. So this is for closed pipe, rho 1. For the open pipe, fundamental frequency will be V by 2 LO under root of B by rho 2. Okay, clear? So now we can simplify few things here. Root of B cancel. 2 and 2 cancel. 3 by 4. Length of closed pipe is L1 only. Length of closed pipe is L1. Okay. Now we can combine the root here. This will be rho 2 by rho 1. And here 1 by LO. LO is length of open pipe, and that is given as N times L1. N times L1. Okay. So L1 cancel. 3 by 4. Density rho 2 rho 1. Those values are separately given at the end. So rho 2 value is 3, whereas rho 1 value is 27. Okay, equal to 1 by n. So this is 9, right? 1 by 9 is root 3. I mean 1 by 9 square root will be 1 by 3, and 3 cancel. So n value will be equal to 4. Okay. So if any question you have any difficulty, please watch the replay once again. Slowly read the question carefully, listen to the expression carefully. Okay, and try to solve the question after that. And I wish you all the luck for all the upcoming FLTs and for the further exams. Take care. Bye-bye. That's all from the session. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hi everyone, welcome to the solution of chemistry section of this question paper. Let's start with the first question. In the following reaction, the most probable product will be. So in this reaction, the mechanism they have given is SN2. We know that generally SN2 reaction occurs with the inversion of configuration. Okay, but for clarity, let's do one thing. Let's rotate these 3 groups, so that the methyl is on the vertical line. So we can rotate these 3 groups without affecting the configuration of the carbon. So hydrogen goes here, methyl goes here. Okay, so the upper chiral carbon has configuration like this. So methyl on the top, bromine on the left, and hydrogen on the right. Now when hydroxide attacks this carbon and the mechanism is SN2, inversion occurs. So bromine, which was on the left hand side, okay, the leaving group which was on the left hand side, now the incoming nucleophile will occupy the opposite side, which is the right hand side. So the incoming nucleophile, which is hydroxide, will occupy the right hand side. So the correct answer to this question will be option B, because you can see the OH is on the right side. All right, moving to the next question. Question number 2. There is a molecule given. It's a diketone, as you can see, and we are reacting it with hydroxide at high temperature. So this is intramolecular aldol condensation. Then there is reaction with methyl magnesium bromide in presence of cuprous bromide, which is an example of conjugate addition. And then this is followed by the reaction with zinc, amalgam, and HCl, so which is Clemmensen reduction. Okay, so in this reaction we have to see the stability of the ring, because this is an intramolecular aldol condensation, right? So I have 2 choices. This is my ketone, right? This is alpha and this is alpha. So if I form enolate here and attack on the other carbonyl, then it will be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 membered ring, right? So I'll choose the other possibility, because a 5-membered ring will be formed faster, right? So 1 2 3 4 and 5. So what we can do for convenience, we can label them 1 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, so the C1 joins to C5, so you can draw something like this. All right, from C1 there is a branch. This is that branch, let's say. Okay, and then C1 has, this is your C1, right? This is your, let's say, C2, this is your C3, this is C4, and C5 has 1 methyl like this, and this is O minus, right? And which upon heating undergoes condensation to form alpha beta unsaturated product. All right, so this is our alpha beta unsaturated ketone, the product of intramolecular aldol condensation. Now MEMGBr itself is Grignard reagent. It's a strong nucleophile. It generally does direct addition on the keto group, but we have toned it down. We have toned down its reactivity by reacting it with CuBr. So now it has become a weak nucleophile. It will do conjugate addition, right? So now this CH3 delta minus, it attacks here, right? So our next intermediate is going to be another methyl here. Okay, and this is the molecule. And finally, we are doing Clemmensen reduction. So Clemmensen reduction will reduce this keto group, and the result will be that a hydrocarbon. Okay, this one. So the correct answer here would be option A, option B. No, it has to be option C. Okay, so that is the correct answer in this question. All right, moving to the next question. A liter of dry air at STP expands adiabatically to a volume of 3 liters. Okay, so initial volume is 1 liter, final volume is 3 liter. Gamma, the ratio of specific heat capacity, the ratio of molar heat capacity, Cp by Cv, is given to be 1.4. The magnitude of work done by it. So this is adiabatic work done. So adiabatic work done, we can say the work done is P2V2 minus P1V1 divided by gamma minus 1. Okay, so we can substitute the values, right? Because we know that for an adiabatic process, PV raised to the power gamma is equal to constant. So P1 V1 raised to the power gamma is equal to P2 V2 raised to the power gamma. Okay, so you can substitute the value, right? Initially, the conditions are STP, which means the pressure is 1 atm and the volume is also 1 liter. Okay, so gamma really doesn't matter here. 1 raised to the power 1.4. Final pressure we are trying to find out. The volume final is 3 liters. So this is 3 raised to the power gamma, which is 1.4. Okay, so here we can find out P2 is 1 upon 3 raised to the power 1.4. Okay, 3 raised to the power 1.4 is given for your convenience, which really is not an easy number to solve, 4.6555. Okay, so now we can substitute the given values. Final pressure is 1 upon 3 raised to the power 1.4. Final volume is 3 liter. Initial pressure and initial volume of 1 liter divided by gamma is 1.4 minus 1, that is 0.4. So you can calculate work done. That will come out to be approximately 90.5 joule. That is the closest answer that you will find. Okay, so after the calculation, it is coming out to be 90.1. So we can say the answer that makes the best choice is 90.5. Moving to the next question, what is the bond order of lithium monopositive ion? Okay, so lithium monopositive ion, lithium has atomic number of 3, which means Lit should have 6 electrons, but positive charge means 1 electron is gone. So we have 5 electrons, right? So you can write the sequence of energies of molecular orbitals, right? So this is sigma 1s, this is sigma star 1s, and that is sigma 2s. We have 5 electrons, so no need to bother going ahead. So 2 electrons will be put to sigma 1s2, 2 electrons will be put to sigma star 1s2, and 1 electron will be put to sigma 2s, right? So now it's not rocket science, it's absolutely simple. The bond order would be number of electrons in bonding molecular orbital, which is 3, minus number of electrons in anti-bonding orbital, which is 2. So 3 minus 2 is very simple, 1 by 2. So the bond order of this is half. So the correct answer is option D. Moving to the next question, which one of the following molecules strongest back donation of an electron pair from the halogen atom to the boron is expected? So basically, back donation depends upon the effectiveness of the orbital overlap, and we know that closer the similar sizes, okay, better is the orbital overlap, right? So in case of BF3, we can assume, because boron belongs to the second period of the periodic table and fluorine is its neighbor, right? Not the next door neighbor, but yes, fluorine also lies in the second shell, right? So their p orbital sizes are likely to be similar. So boron has vacant 2p orbital and fluorine has filled 2p orbital. So this effectiveness of overlap is going to be great. Okay, so the back donation is going to be the best in case of BF3. As the size of halogen increases, in case of like chlorine, bromine, and iodine, the halogen p orbital is going to inflate. It's going to become larger in size, and that is going to decrease the effectiveness of the overlap and hence the back donation. Moving to the next question, which one of the following reactions does not occur? So I guess they're asking which of the following is least feasible. Okay, so this is aniline and this is acetylation. Yes, this reaction occurs. All right. In reaction B, aniline is reacting with AlCl3. Now this is not really a good choice of reagents, right? Because aniline is a Lewis base, albeit a weaker one, but aniline is still a Lewis base, and AlCl3 is a Lewis acid, right? It's used as a catalyst in the reaction. So when aniline, which is the Lewis base, reacts with AlCl3, which is a Lewis acid catalyst, you can expect what will happen, a complex which is not favorable for further reaction, right? So this is NH2 plus and AlCl3 minus. So the moment nitrogen gets a positive charge, it becomes reluctant to donate its electron and the reaction becomes non-feasible. So the answer that makes sense here is option B. Okay, so aniline does undergo nitration, giving us a mixture of nitration products. So this is one of the products. Option C is feasible. And option D is also feasible because this is a famous method for the preparation of sulfanylic acid, which is used as a precursor for making colored compounds we call dyes. Okay, so the correct answer here is option B. Moving to the next question, question number 7. Which one of the following statements is not true about enzymes? So we have to find out the incorrect statement. The action of enzymes is temperature and pH specific. Yes, enzymes are highly sensitive to temperature changes and pH changes, as it affects their reactivity or ability to act as catalyst. So this is correct. Enzymes are non-specific for a reaction substrate. No, enzymes are highly specific, right? An enzyme can catalyze a particular type of reaction. So this is not correct, and hence our answer. Option C, enzyme work as catalyst by lowering the activation energy. Yes, we pretty much believe that, right? Because a reaction is sped up by catalyst as a result of decreased activation energy. And almost all the enzymes are proteins. Yes, generally enzymes are proteins. So all the options are correct except option B. Moving to the next question. Question number 8. Arrange the following compounds in order of increasing carbon-oxygen bond length. So we have to arrange them in the order of increasing carbon-oxygen bond length. So if you look at the first molecule, which is phenol, it has partial double bond character because oxygen has 2 lone pairs. So why not donate 1 electron pair? Why not share 1 electron pair with benzene ring, right? The mesomeric effect. So it has partial double bond character. Para-ethoxyphenol, here you can see that there are 2 groups. Phenolic oxygen wants to donate electron pair. So apparently there is a competition, right? It's counter resonance. It's a very good example, right? So the oxygen of ethoxy group wants to donate electron, right? And the oxygen of phenol also wants to donate electron. So the electron density flow from phenolic oxygen towards benzene ring will be less. That means there will not be much of double bond character. It will be more of single bond compared to phenol. So hence the larger bond length, right? Longer bond length. Methanol, there is no such delocalization, right? So the carbon oxygen is a pure single bond, right? So the correct answer to this is option A. Methanol, closest to single bond. Para-ethoxyphenol, somewhere between single and double bond, but more towards the single bond. And phenol, it's a little more towards the partial double bond character. Moving to the next question, question number 9, which one of the following will not produce a racemic major product, right? So you have to look at the major product, and it should be a mixture of enantiomers. If you react pentwanine with HCl, yes, we are going to get a mixture of enantiomers, right? Because this is a chiral carbon, so we are getting a hydrogen, chlorine, methyl, and propyl. So this is not the correct answer. In here, first you will add hydrogen, which means this will be a carbocation, which will then undergo hydride shift. Okay, so this carbon will undergo, this carbocation will undergo rearrangement. So the rearranged carbocation would look like this. Okay. But then you see this is not going to be a chiral carbon due to the presence of 2 methyl groups here, right? So the correct answer to this question should be option B. In case of option C, this is nucleophilic addition reaction. So we are expecting the product to form like this, right? Cyanohydrin, we call them. Yes, it is a chiral carbon because of the 4 different groups, methyl, ethyl, cyano, and hydroxy. And in the second case, again, we get a molecule with 1 chiral carbon, which is bromine, right? So this is a chiral carbon. This will be a mixture of enantiomers, right? So the correct answer is option B, definitely. Moving to the next question, it's more of theoretical one, guys, and I think it's been taken from like NCERT in group 14 elements. Blood plasma is maintained at a pH of 7.4. You should know that our blood is slightly alkaline, like the pH is roughly between 7.26 to 7.42. So the most appropriate answer to this is bicarbonate and carbonic acid buffer. So the correct answer is option A. Then moving to the next question, in order to oxidize a mixture of 1 mole each of ferrous oxalate, ferric oxalate, ferrous sulfate, and ferric sulfate in acidic medium, the number of moles of KMnO4 required. So in this question, you have to be careful. For each molecule or species, you have to figure out how many electrons, okay, it is losing, right? Because KMnO4 is an oxidizing agent, so it needs electron. So they have no option other than to give electron, right? So let's split it. So ferrous oxalate is Fe2 plus, and oxalate is this. In this reaction, ferrous is oxidized to ferric, and the 2 carbons of oxalate are oxidized to carbon dioxide. You can calculate the oxidation number. Okay, iron goes from +2 to +3, so 1 electron is lost, and carbon goes from +3 to +4, so 1 electron is lost. But don't forget there are 2 carbon atoms, so a total of 3 electrons are lost by ferrous oxalate. This is ferric oxalate, guys. Why? Because oxalate carries a -2, so 3 oxalate will carry -6, which means iron should carry +2. Right, plus 3 here. So basically no change in oxidation state of ferric, right? Because as it is already in highest stable state. But oxalate, yes, 3 oxalate will be oxidized to CO2. And as we have seen in this case, 1 oxalate gives 2 electrons, right? 3 to 4. And there are 2 carbon and there are 3 oxalates, so total of 6 electrons. Talking about ferrous sulfate, in the case of sulfate, the sulfur is already in its highest oxidation state, which is +6. So ferrous will be undergoing oxidation here, losing 1 electron, which means then factor is 1. So you can see that we need a total of 10 mole of electrons, right? Overall, we need 10 mole of electrons, and the n factor of KMnO4 is 5, because in acidic medium, permanganate goes from +7 to +2, right? So we need 10 mole of electrons, and KMnO4 accepts 5, right? It accepts 5 electrons, it needs 5 electrons, so a total of 2 moles of KMnO4 would be needed in an acidic medium. So that would be the correct answer to this question. Moving to the next question. For the reaction PCl3 plus Cl2 gives PCl5, the value of Kp. So this is pretty easy question. Kp is equal to Kc RT raised to the power delta Ng. Delta Ng is number of gaseous moles of products, which is 1, and number of gaseous moles of reactants, which is 2. So this is -1, right? So we have to calculate the value of Kc, which would be Kp multiplied by RT. You just have to put the values. This is 0.61 multiplied by the value of R. You can at best take 0.08, and the temperature is 250. So do not forget to convert it into Kelvin, a common mistake, right? So this is 523, right? So you can put the values and you can get the answer as 26.19. So that's a very simple question indeed. Moving to the next question. Two liquids A and B, they have P0A and P0B in the ratio 1:3. So for simplicity, let us just keep them 1:3. Why make it complicated? The ratio of number of moles of A and B, they are also in the ratio of 1:3. So you understand the mole fraction of A is 1/4 and the mole fraction of B is 3/4. The question is the mole fraction of A in the vapor phase, right? So the mole fraction of A in the vapor phase, we can denote it by YA, which is PA by P total, and which in turn is P0A XA divided by P total, which is P0A XA plus P0B XP. Okay, so you don't have to assume any variable as such because it's a ratio. So whether you assume something like X or Y, they will cancel. Okay, right? So P0A, you see it is given to be 1, and the mole fraction of A, it is given to be 1/4, right? So that's 1/4. And for B, the pure vapor pressure is 3, and the mole fraction, it's 3/4, right? So this is 1/4. And this is 1 plus 9, right? So this is cancelled. This is 1/10, which is 0.1. So the correct answer here is 0.1. Moving to the next question. For a D4 metal in an octahedral field, okay, so this is the case where the difference between the strong field ligand and weak field ligand starts. So this is the T2G and this is EG for an octahedral field. You put 3 electrons in the T2G set as per Hund's rule. Now for the 4th electron, there is a dilemma. Obviously, if the pairing energy is high, we will not spend it, okay, and we will send the 4th electron up here. So if pairing energy is more, we will spend what is less, right? Because energy is precious, right? So if pairing energy is more, crystal field splitting parameter is less, it will be spent and the 4th electron will be sent here. Now you remember it happens in the case of weak field ligand, right? So for weak field ligand, delta O is less than P. So the correct option will be option D. So T2G3 and EG1 is one weak field ligand. For weak field ligand, the splitting is less, which means delta O is less than P, which is experimental, right? So that lies like this. Option B cannot be the correct answer. This cannot be the correct answer, and this definitely cannot be the correct answer here. Moving to the next question, consider the following equation. This is Debye-Huckel equation. Which pair of electrolytes have the same value of A? So remember guys, in here, A is a constant that depends upon the nature of charges on the cation and anion of the electrolyte. Okay, so in case of NaCl, sodium has 1 and chloride has 1 charge, so they are called 1,1 electrolyte. In case of MgCl2, magnesium has 2 units of positive charge and chlorine still has 1 unit of charge, so this is called 2,1 electrolyte. So the electrolytes which are of the same type, like 1,1, 1,2 or 2,2, they have the same value of A. So that makes option C as the correct answer, because in this case, both electrolytes have the same charge on cation and the same charge on anion. Moving to the next question, which of the following order is incorrect? So in this case, the correct answer is this one, option C, because we are talking about the ionization energy. Now, if you're removing an electron from nitrogen, that makes it 2p2, right? Because nitrogen itself is 2p3. And if you remove 1 electron from oxygen, so O plus makes it 2p3. Now you can see obviously the half-filled subshell is extra stable, so O plus should have higher ionization enthalpy compared to N plus. So this is not correct, right? So the remaining order are correct. Aluminum has higher radius than gallium. Yes. So gallium has lower atomic radius because of the the poor shielding effect of 3d electrons. And F plus and Cl minus, Cl plus, that is also correct, right? And oxygen and selenium electronegativity, that is also correct. Oxygen has higher electronegativity, obviously, right? Moving to the next question. This is more of an experimental, right? Thing. So the electrode potential for this redox couple M2 plus / M for the first transition series metals are irregular values, right? So you see the potential do not vary regularly, and actually these potentials depend upon enthalpy of atomization, because you have to first convert atoms into gas phase. Only then you can remove electrons. And once you remove electron, you define ionization enthalpy. And because electrode potentials are defined in aqueous solutions, so these gaseous cations, gas phase cations, are then put into water, which means which brings hydration enthalpy into the picture, right? So there are actually three types of energies involved, which together, it's an interplay. They together decide what is going to be the order or the value, for the reduction potential. Now, these three values vary quite irregularly, right? We discussed them in detail in DNF block elements. They are very important. So they vary irregularly, because of which the electrode potentials themselves do not vary regularly. So the correct answer to this one is going to be first, second, and third. Moving to the next question, how many monochlorinated products formed when S2-chlorobutane? Okay, so S2-chlorobutane means 2-chlorobutane is optically active, and we are only considering one of its enantiomers, right? So we don't have to figure out which one is S2-chlorobutane to solve this question. We can just draw it, okay, and just keep in your mind that the configuration of this chiral carbon is fixed, right? It cannot be both R and S. So this is 2-chlorobutane, and it has to have a fixed configuration. Now, how many products are obtained if we do the monochlorination, which means that we replace one hydrogen atom exactly by a chlorine atom. So if you replace this hydrogen by chlorine, you will end up getting only one product, okay, because this is not going to introduce a new chiral carbon. So this is your first product. If you replace this hydrogen by chlorine, again, the chirality is lost, okay, because you have two chlorine atom on the second carbon. So again, this is one product. If you replace one hydrogen on the secondary carbon by a chlorine, then a new chiral carbon is generated. For clarity, I'm showing this one, right? This new chiral carbon is generated. Now remember, it has a fixed configuration S, but the new chiral carbon, it comes from a free radical which is planar. That means it is equally likely to have both the configurations. So it could be SR or SS. So these would be like two isomers, third and fourth, let us call them. And finally, if you replace this hydrogen by chlorine, that will not lead to more than one product, okay, because there is no chirality introduced in the molecule. So the correct answer in this case is going to be 5. Moving to the next question, which of the following reactions will not yield phenol? It's very simple. So first one is Dow's process. So chlorobenzene, when reacted with NaOH, it's stubborn. It does not react under normal conditions, right? It only reacts at high temperature, right, via the Benzyme mechanism, which makes option D as the incorrect, right, non-feasible, because chlorobenzene does not react with NaOH at room temperature, right? It reacts at very high temperature and pressure. So option A is correct. In option B, aniline first undergoes diazotization, N2 plus, and which being a very good leaving group, it's displaced by OH. So this also gives phenol. And the third method is also very famous. Oleum introduces a sulfonic group on benzene, which is a good leaving group and easily displaced upon reaction with hydroxide. Okay, so yes, we have already cleared it out. So option D is the correct answer. Moving to the next question, consider the following pairs of electrons. The pairs of electrons present in the degenerate orbitals having same energy. And please remember that while filling while filling electrons into orbitals, the rule is n plus L. All right, if n plus L value is same, then the energy is same, right? So here 3 plus 1, 4, and here 3 plus 2, 5. So they are definitely not degenerate. If 3 plus 2, 5, and then 3 plus 2, 5, they have the same value of n, they have the same value of L. All right. So when you have to decide the energy of an orbital, you look at the value of n plus L, right? So if n plus L is same, then and n and L are different, okay, then you check the value of n. Okay, if n plus L, they are same. Okay, so that is not the case here. It's very simple. In the second option, 3 and 2 and 3 and 2. So obviously we are talking about 3D subshell. They will be degenerate. So that will be the correct answer. N4 and L2, N3 and L2. No, that is 6 and 5. So definitely not 1. So this is the correct answer. All right. Moving to the next question. The passage of current through a solution of dilute sulfuric acid with platinum electrodes liberated 336 centimeter cube of mixture of hydrogen and oxygen gas at under STP conditions. The quantity of electricity in coulombs that was passed through the solution, given the value of Faraday, 1 Faraday 96500 coulomb per mole. So please remember this, that when you electrolyze a solution, an aqueous solution of dilute sulfuric acid using platinum electrode, okay, at anode oxygen is formed and at cathode hydrogen is formed. So this is basically nothing but the electrolysis of water. Okay, so the electrolysis of water can be simply written as H2 plus half O2, and you can observe that 1 mole water will give 22.4 liter hydrogen and 11.2 liter oxygen, which means a total of 33.6 liter gases. And you can also see that in this reaction, 2 Faraday of charge is involved, as hydrogen gains 2 mole of electrons and oxygen loses 2 moles of electron, right? So now it's very simple. We can use unitary method here. So 33.6 liter, which is 33,600 ml of gases when formed. This involves 2 Faraday of charge, but we have 336 ml of gases. So that would be your 0.02 Faraday. Okay. So the charge that would be is 0.02 Faraday multiplied by the value of Faraday, which is given 96500. So the correct answer to this question will come out to be 1930. Okay. Moving to the next question, the total number of planar species among the following: water is planar, it has bent shape. There are 3 atoms, they will lie in plane. ClF3, guys, it is bent T. So again, right, these atoms lie in one plane. So water is there, ClF3 there. PCl5, we know it is trigonal bipyramidal, so definitely not planar, right? It has bonds lying in these 2 planes at least. Okay. And so this is not the answer. SO3, yes, it is sp2 hybridized. So all the 3, sulfur oxygen bonds are in one plane. So that is also correct answer. SF4 is seesaw, right? So again, it does not, all the boundary atoms do not lie in one plane. BF3, yes, it is planar. It is sp2 hybridized, trigonal planar. So that is also our answer. SiF4 is tetrahedral, guys, because silicon, just like carbon, is tetravalent. SF6 is octahedral, so definitely not planar. IF7 is pentagonal bipyramidal, definitely not planar. XZO3, you can figure out it's a pyramidal molecule, right? So like this. So pyramidal, definitely not planar. And COCl4 minus is tetrahedral because chloride is a weak field ligand, right? So the total number of species that makes sense here as a planar species is 1, 2, 3, and then which here 4, right? So the correct answer to this one is going to be 4. All right, water, ClF3, SO3, and BF3. Moving to the next question, a certain amount of dichloroacetic acid is oxidized to carbon monoxide, water, and chlorine by 300 gram equivalents of KMnO4 and acidic medium. How many moles of barium hydroxide are required to completely neutralize the same amount of acid? So in this, the only trick is to find out the N factor of dichloroacetic acid. Otherwise, this question is very simple, right? And there is a simple way to find out the oxidation state of atoms, right? If the structure is given, number of bonds with more electronegative minus less electronegative. So you can see the oxidation state of C1 is +3, and the oxidation state of this carbon is number of bonds with more electronegative, which is 2, and number of bonds with less electronegative, which is 1. So this is +1. So there is one carbon which is going from +1 to +4. So definitely it is losing 3 electrons. There is one carbon which is going from 3 to 4, so it is losing 1 electron. And you can see that both chlorine are going from -1 to 0. So one chlorine losing 1 electron, so that is a total of 6. Okay, so the N factor is 6, right? So for dichloroacetic acid, N factor is 6. Now, because in any chemical reaction, right, this is a redox reaction, the number of gram equivalents for both the reactants are going to be equal. So for KMnO4, if it is 300 gram equivalents, for dichloroacetic acid also 300 gram equivalents. Now, the number of moles of dichloroacetic acid would be the gram equivalents divided by the N factor, which is 6. So that means 50 moles. So 50 mole of acid is, like reacting with KMnO4. And barium hydroxide is divalent. So barium hydroxide will be exactly half of that, right? So the correct answer, that is going to be 25 in this case. All right. Moving to the next question, right, which is this one, a simple question based on percentage yield. Okay, so consider the above reaction where 6.1 gram of benzoic acid is used to get 7.8 gram of metabromobenzoic acid. So you can do your math, find out the molecular masses, right? I guess the molecular mass of benzoic acid is 122, and the molecular mass of metabromobenzoic acid is 201. The atomic masses are given here. So we can see here that 122 gram of the reactant should lead to the formation of 201 gram of the product. So 6.1 gram of the reactant should lead to the formation of 201 divided by 122 multiplied by 6.1, right? So yes, so this is 201 divided by 20. So that is the expected amount of product formed. Now the percentage yield is the actual yield, which is 7.8 divided by expected yield, which is 201 by 20, and to calculate percentage you have to do it 100, right? So now what I would prefer to do, I would just take 201 as 200. That will greatly simplify your calculation. So yes, okay, so that will give your answer as approximately 78, which indeed is the correct answer here. Okay, moving to the next question, how many of the following compounds are aromatic, right? So benzene is definitely aromatic. So 1, this is anti-aromatic. This is tub shaped to avoid anti-aromaticity, right? So this is not aromatic. Yes, it is aromatic. The 4th compound is aromatic because oxygen forms a coordinate covalent bond. There is vacant orbital on boron, and oxygen has 2 lone pairs to share. So yes, because of the 6 pi electron, this one is also aromatic. So there are 2 molecules. This one is not aromatic, you might think, okay, but actually this nitrogen breaks the conjugation. All right. Yes, so it is sp3 hybridized with no p orbital, so this is not aromatic, right? This is anti-aromatic definitely with 4 pi electrons. Yes, this is definitely aromatic because nitrogen donates an electron pair to boron, right? So this is our third molecule. These are sp3 non-planar, so definitely not aromatic. Aniline is definitely aromatic. Furan, yes, it is aromatic, right? And this is pyrrole, so definitely aromatic with 6 pi electrons, right? So the correct answer to this one is going to be 6 molecules, right? So yes, the correct answer is going to be 6 1, right? So these 6 molecules are aromatic in nature. So that's all in the solution, guys. Thank you for joining. Have a nice day.
Hello everyone. How are you guys? I hope you guys are having an amazing day and you were able to get incredible marks in this test as well. So we're going to be discussing, I believe, the fourth test which you have just now given. We're looking at the questions. I'll also be telling you guys how to solve, and along with that, which were the easy questions which you should have definitely solved, and which were some of the bit on the difficult side questions which you could have kind of skipped as well. Okay. So yes, let's start off with the very first question. What do we have here? A circle C of radius 2 lies in the second quadrant and it touches both the coordinate axes. Very well. This is one of the most simplest type of circles we have, right? So a circle which is touching both the coordinate axis. I can directly say that its center will be of the form minus r comma r. Okay, then there is another circle which has the center at 2 comma 5. So 2 comma 5 somewhere over here. And it intersects the circle, original circle C, at exactly 2 points. At exactly 2 points. This is another color. This is kind of what the circle looks like. It intersects at exactly 2 points. Now the question is, what is the possible values of r? Oh yeah, the values of r lie in the interval alpha comma beta. What is the value of 3 beta minus 2 alpha? So very straightforward the question. We know that if this circle over here is cutting the center at exactly 2 points over here, I can say that the distance between your centers jo hai, that has to lie in what interval? That has to, this circle ka radius is given to us 2, so this point will be minus 2 comma 2 itself. We can say that the distance between the centers jo hai, that has to lie between r1 plus r2 and r1 minus r2. What is the distance between the two centers? It is 4 square plus 3 square over here. And this value we are been told that it should lie between which interval? Between r1 plus r2. R1 ka value, so we know it is 2. So 2 plus r2, the variable circle, we'll assume that as r over here, and you will have 2 minus r. So basically you have the fact that over here this 16, that is this 5 jo hai, that has to be less than 2 plus r, meaning that your r has to be a value which is greater than 3. And along with that, now there's a mod over here 2 minus r pe, assuming that this r value jo hai, as it is greater than 3, I can directly say over here that it is going to be definitely r minus 2 ka format. Okay? So I will get the second condition over here that r minus 2 jo hai, it is less than 5, which means your r jo hai, it should be less than 5 plus 2, that is 7. So these are the two conditions that you will get, that your radius jo hai, it has to lie between 3 and 7 for your circle with the center at 2 comma 5. So directly I can say that where does my r lie? Alpha comma beta is 3 comma 7. And what is being asked over here, 21 minus 6, that's equal to option A. 15 will be the answer for this question. Okay? Very simple, straightforward, sir. Basic question. Okay? This is one of the very easy questions that you should definitely solve. This simply, we had learned this exact topic in the number of common tangents wala concept. If you remember, where they cut at 2 points, we know that it's a C1, C2 distance between centers lies between R1 plus R2 and R1 minus R2. This is the case where you have 2 common tangents, right? So that's the simple application of that concept over here. Alrighty, moving on. What do we have over here? So we have a sequence A1, A2, A3 till A2n. It's an arithmetic progression. Then you have been told A1 square minus A2 square plus A3 square minus A4 square, and so on and so forth. What is this going to be equal to? So, as there are squares of the terms, we don't really have an exact pattern to follow over here, right? But we do know that if A1, A2, A3 till A2n is an arithmetic progression, I know that A2 minus A4, A2 minus A1, A4 minus A3, A6 minus A5, these are all what? Nothing but the common difference. So, slightly rearranging this, A1 square minus A2 square ko, can I write as A1 minus A2 into A1 plus A2. Similarly, A3 square minus A4 square ko, I can write it as A3 minus A4 into A3 plus A4. And so on and so forth up until A2n minus 1 minus A2n multiplied by A2n minus 1 plus A2n. Now you might be thinking, what's the point behind this? The point behind this is that now this A1 minus A2, A3 minus A4, A5 minus A6 till A2n minus 1 minus A2n, these are all what? Nothing but the minus of common difference. These are all nothing but minus of D over here, because A2 minus A1 is D. A4 minus A3 is also D. So what I can say is I can take this minus d common, and what am I getting? I have a1 plus a2, a3 plus a4 till a2n over here. Can I say this is nothing but minus d into sum of an ap over here, n by 2, that is 2n by 2 into first term plus last term over here. Now this 2 and 2 gets cancelled out. Now you will look at this option and think, this options and think that there is no option which kind of satisfies this pattern which we are looking for over here, right? That's because we still have another play. See, all the options, there is some a1, a2n square, a1 square with some relation, right? Let's create that out. Let's multiply and divide with a2n minus a1. Let's multiply and divide with a2n minus a1. Now, what is a2n ka value? Can I say a2n is equal to nothing but first term plus 2n minus 1 into common difference. And if I take a2n minus a1 wala value, that will be equal to what? 2n minus 1 into common difference over here. So now what I will get is minus d into n into over here you will have a2n square minus a1 square divided by a2n minus a1 is equal to what? 2n minus 1 into d. So this d and this d gets cancelled out over here. You have n upon 2n minus 1 into, so that minus sign, if you bring this minus sign inside, you will get n upon 2n minus 1 into a1 square minus a2n ka square, which is again option A of this question as well, the right answer. And it's a very simple, straightforward. So I'll say that this also comes inside the, I'll say easy to medium, just because if you're not able to get this hint of breaking out the a square minus b square formats and taking the common difference common, this might be a little tricky. But I believe it should be one of the first things that pop into your mind if a1, a2, a3 is given as an AP and you have a1 square minus a2 square ka format. Okay, it's one of the first things that should directly pop into your mind. All right, moving on. Let's have a look at the next one. What do we have here? Extremely simple inequality. You have mod of x ka square minus mod x minus 6 is less than or equal to 0. Can I simply factorize this as mod x minus 3 into mod x plus 2 less than or equal to 0, which can be written as mod x lying between minus 2 and plus 3. Now, mod x bigger than minus 2, irrelevant statement. It makes no sense. It means it's something that is always true. So no need to even worry about this. Simply mod x less than or equal to 3. What is it? X lies between minus 3 till 3. How many integers do you have? Minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Total 7 integers. Option C will be the answer. This, I will say, is a very easy question. Like 11th standard, if you have learned for the first 1 month where we learn inequalities, this is exactly that panta on modulus and inequalities application. Okay? It's a very easy, straightforward, easy 4 marks question. All right, moving on. Oh, now this is a very interesting question actually. What we have here is, you've been asked to find the variance of x1, x2 till xn. But what they have given you is summation of xi minus 5, summation of xi minus 5 ka square is given to you. Now see, you might look at this and think, acha, I can slightly play around, I can get what will be summation xi, break it as summation xi minus summation 5 equal to 5, then xi minus 5 ka square also, xi square minus 10 xi plus 25, break it, get summation xi square, lot of messy work. But if you avoid that and say that by this x1, x2 till xn has some variance, can I say x1 minus 5, x2 minus 5, x1 minus 5, x2 minus 5, x3 minus 5 till xn minus 5, these two set will have the same variance. Why? Because change of origin does not impact standard deviation and variance. So instead of finding x1, x2 ka variance, I will find x1 minus 5, x2 minus 5, xn minus 5 ka variance. And what is that going to be? It is simply summation xi minus 5 ka square divided by n minus summation xi minus 5 upon 10 ka whole square. What is summation xi minus 5 ka square? That is 125. So you have 125 by 10 minus you have summation xi, that is 5 by 10 ka square. What is this? This is 12.5 minus, rather let's keep it in this format itself, as the options are pretty much fraction format only. So what can I write this as? Let's just cancel one of the 5, I believe. Yeah, 25 by 2 minus, what do you have over here? 5 by 10 ka square, that is 25 by 100 over here. 1 by 2, 1 by 4 itself I can write this as. So what is this? LCM I can take over here. That's 50 minus 1 by 4, 49 by 4. Option C will be the answer for the question. Okay, everyone? Is the idea clear? A very simple, basic question this was. Okay, now see, if you would have gone and tried to find what is summation xi, what is summation xi square, you can very well do it. But here unnecessary effort you have to put in just by using the fact that variance does not change with origin. I can directly find xi minus 5 ka variance, which is the same as xi x1 x2 का variance over here. That's all I have to use. ठीक है, चलो भैया, moving on. What do we have here? Find the number of integral values of k for which this point 0 comma k lies on or inside the triangle formed by. This is a pure geometry wala question. What do you have to do? Plot the lines. So first one over here, when you put y equal to 0, x you will get as minus 2 by 3. Okay, so somewhere over here you have a minus 2 by 3 comma 0, and when you put x is equal to 0, you are getting y equals to minus 2. So somewhere over here you have a 0 comma minus 2. So one line procured. You've got one line over here, looks something like this. Okay, one line we have got. Second line, okay, over here, when you put x is equal to 0, what are you getting? Y equal to 5 by 3. 0 comma 5 by 3, let's say it lies somewhere over here. This is where I'll say that 0 comma 5 by 3 lies somewhere over here. Then when you put y equal to 0, x you are getting it as minus 5 by 2. So minus 5 by 2 lies somewhere over here. So minus 5 by 2 comma 0. So this is line 2. This is line 2. Now finally line 3 over here. When you put x is equal to 0, you are getting y equals to 14 by 4. So 14 by 4 is 7 by 2. 7 by 2 is a little bit bigger over here. So 0 comma 7 by 2. When you put y equal to 0, x you are getting as 14. So this is somewhere over here, 14 comma 0. So I'll get this triangle on this line. There's something over here. So basically now, yes, if you extend this line, somewhere over here, the two of them will meet at a point. I don't really care about that a lot. Now we have got this triangle. Now the question is, for what values of k does the point 0 comma k? So basically 0 comma k is a line on the y-axis. Now simply can I say if it is lying inside or on the triangle, it has to lie in this region right here, which is that your k ka jo value hai, it should be between 5 by 3 and 7 by 2 over here. Okay? What is 5 by 3 over here? It is approximately 1.66. Your k has to lie between 1.66 and 3.5. So basically 2 and 3. Yeah, there's only two integer values possible. Option A will be the answer. Okay? All of you, is the idea clear? It's all about which are the integral values which lie inside or on the triangle on the y-axis. So y-axis wala part, that is the part which is lying inside the triangle. You just have to find the values of integral values of k for which it will be satisfied. Okay? So yes, option A 2 will be the answer. Moving on. This is a very straightforward question. See, whenever you have this question, the only one logic that you have to use or remember is determinant of adjoint of A jo hai, that is equal to determinant A power n minus 1. This is the only funda that you have to use. Let me show you how. First of all, there's determinant of adjoint of something. Don't think about what is inside. There's some matrix over there whose determinant of adjoint of that matrix you have to find. I can say directly what is this? This is determinant of adjoint of A whole power n minus 1. Order is 3. So it will be square. Perfect. Now, forget about that square. Just look at the inside wala part. Again, I have determinant of adjoint of something. So can I say again, whatever that something was, adjoint of A, power 2 will be the determinant of adjoint of A. Just that there is one more square out there. But yeah, no problem. Again, determinant of adjoint of A. This is determinant of A, power 2, power 2, power 2. That's determinant of A whole 2 into 2 into 2, 8. So determinant of A is given to you as 3. So what is the answer? 3 power 8. Option A will be the answer for this question. Again, this I will say is a very easy question. As long as you know the formula, determinant of adjoint of A is determinant A power n minus 1. It's a absolute nothing question. It's an absolute nothing question. Very easily solvable. Okay? Everybody, I hope the idea is clear. Chalo. Moving on, let's have a look at the next one. All right. What do we have here? You have been given a function. Mod x wala function hai, to first things first, we should always break it. First things first, we should always break it about the mod, that what is the value when x is less than 0, what is the value when x is greater than 0. So let's define this function. F of x will be equal to, when x is less than 0, you will replace mod x with minus x. So you'll get minus x into 3 power 1 by x minus x. So basically minus 2x minus x into 3 power 1 by x divided by 3 power 1 by x minus 1. Okay, cool. X equal to 0 pe, they have given that the function is 0. X equal to x greater than 0 pe, mod x will open up as plus x. So you'll get x minus x into 3 power 1 by x minus x. X minus x gets cancelled out. You'll simply get minus x into 3 power 1 by x divided by 3 power 1 by x minus 1. Okay, this is what you will get. Now straightforward. First of all, let's check the continuity first, right? Let's first of all check continuity. So I'll go for left hand limit. So left hand limit ke liye limit x tending to 0 minus x tending to 0 minus, I'll get what? Minus 2x minus x into 3 power 1 by x divided by 3 power 1 by x minus 1. And now we go straightforward over here. Can I say that 0 minus pay? What is this going to look like? Minus 2 into 0 minus 0 into 3 power minus infinity 0 divided by 3 power minus infinity 0 minus 1. So everything is just 0 divided by minus 1. This is going to be 0. So left hand limit to 0. Very well. Next, right hand limit. For right hand limit, you will get limit x tending to 0 plus. You will use the definition minus x into 3 power 1 by x divided by 3 power 1 by x minus 1. Okay, now here it is 0 into infinity divided by infinity minus 0. Some infinity wala case hai. Infinity wala case mein we know the straightforward idea. What is it? Every time in an infinity wala question, we should create zeros. How will I create zeros? Let's do this over here only. How do I create zeros? I can write this as limit x tending to 0 plus. Let me take 3 power 1 by x common from the numerator over here. So I'll get minus x inside. The denominator also, let's take 3 power 1 by x common. What will I get? 1 minus 1 upon 3 power 1 by x. 3 power 1 by x, 3 power 1 by x gets cancelled out. Now you have 0 divided by 1 minus 0. Again, this is equal to 0. So bhai, first things first, LHL, RHL, they are equal. LHL and RHL, they are coming out as equal. So discontinuous. So discontinuous, not continuous. Basically, we are still stuck at kind of two options over here. It did not really help us with the fact that we found that it is continuous. So kind of in this question, if you look at the options, right, except for discontinuous wala statement is kind of mentioned over here, so it kind of becomes a bit messy. But yeah, this was still required to eliminate option A basically. Now let's move over to differentiability. So I'll find left hand derivative. What is the left hand derivative, right hand derivative ka formula? We know that left hand derivative, right hand derivative is your limit h tending to 0, f of a plus h. In this case, it is, we are talking about 0, so I can directly write it as f of 0 plus h minus f of 0 divided by h. And for left hand derivative, you will have limit h tending to 0, f of 0 minus h minus f of 0 divided by h. This is equal to 0 only. So I can straightforward simply say f of h upon h when you are using the right hand derivative, and f of minus h upon h when you want your left hand derivative. So left hand derivative ke limit h tending to 0, f of minus h is always a positive value, right? I hope you remember. Minus h divided by minus h, sorry, minus h minus h. So over here, you will have this minus h wala value. Okay, so now let's find what is this f of minus h ka value gonna come out as. F of minus h ke liye which definition will I use? I will use the left x less than 0 wala definition. So we get minus 2h. We get minus 2h minus plus 2h, right? Plus 2h plus h into 3 power minus 1 upon h divided by 3 power minus 1 upon h minus 1. Perfect. So 2h plus h into 3 power minus 1 upon h divided by minus h. So first of all, let's just cancel this minus h over here. So what you're left with is 2 plus 3 power minus 1 upon h divided by 1 minus 3 power minus 1 upon h. Why minus? Because this minus sign just went inside the denominator. Limit h tending to 0. Okay, and then straightforward, can I say over here that h is tending to 0, 3 power minus infinity is 0, 3 power minus infinity is 0. What is this equal to? 2. So I can say that my left hand derivative jo hai, that is going to be equal to directly 2 over here. Left hand derivative will be equal to straightforward 2. Done. Now let's check right hand derivative. Right hand derivative ke liye, now here we will do limit h tending to 0, f of h divided by h. Now here which definition will we use? We'll use the x greater than 0 wala definition. That is minus x into 3 power 1 by x divided by 3 power 1 by x minus 1. Okay. So this will become what? Minus h into 3 power 1 by h divided by 3 power 1 by h minus 1. 3 power 1 by h minus 1. So same funda, 3 power 1 by h, take it common from numerator denominator, cancel it out. What you're left off with is limit h tending to 0 minus h divided by 1 minus 1 upon 3 power 1 by h. What is this? This is 0 divided by 1 minus 0 ka format over here. What is this equal to? This is equal to 0 over here. So I can say that my right hand derivative is 0 and I've got my left hand derivative ka value as equal to 2. As both these left hand derivative, right hand derivative ka value jo hai, they are not equal. I can straightforward say that yes, this function is not differentiable. Hence, I will say that it is continuous but not differentiable. Option B. Now this is a question which I will put hard minus category. So it's slightly a bit calculative, lot of stuff, lot of things that you have to be very careful about. But still, I'll say that medium to hard is a hard minus, or medium to hard is a much better. Because not a very difficult logic is involved, but just a little bit calculated. The function is a bit confusing with a lot of terms over there. Basic limit ka concept is all that you have to use. Infinity wala concept, taking infinity common, creating zeros. That's all you have to do. Okay? So we get left hand derivative as 2, right hand derivative as 0. Okay? So yes, option B will be the answer. Okay. Moving on, what do we have next? So here you have been asked the number of solutions. Okay? The number of solutions of this equation x minus 1 the whole square plus x into ln x equal to x. What will be the number of solutions over here? So this is much of a very standard type of funda. What I will do is I will directly just differentiate this expression. What we are going to do is we are going to straightforward just differentiate out this expression. What will I get? I can say that this is x minus 1 the whole square. I'll create basically a function x minus 1 the whole square. Function f of x is equal to x minus 1 the whole square plus x into ln x minus x ke form. Okay? I'll just create a function over here. So what can I say? F dash of x will be equal to 2 into x minus 1. Then you have plus x into 1 by x, that is 1. Then plus ln x minus 1. This is the expression that you have over here. So 2 into x minus 1 plus ln x wala expression is, and also remember that x has to be always greater than 0. X has to be always greater than 0 over here. Why is your x always greater than 0? Straightforward, I can see ln x is there. So we are only talking about the positive values of x over here. So now, at this case, can I see that where is the point when x is a value which is less than 1? When x is less than 1, are you able to observe that 2 into x minus 1 is negative and ln x is also negative? So basically for values less than 1, I can say straightforward that my function is a decreasing function. F dash of x ka, we talk about nature. It is decreasing from 0 to 1 and then it is increasing when x becomes greater than 1 over here. When x becomes greater than 1 over here. Okay, very well. Now, looking at all of this concept, more or less, what we have over here is a value which slightly looks like a parabola type of shape, right? Graph will look of the function will look something like this. So between 0, 1 and then infinity, whatever it will happen. Now I can see that by f of infinity ka value, if you find f of infinity is coming out as what? Infinity itself over here. It's keeping on increasing. X minus 1 ka whole square, x into ln x both increasing. Minus x is not going to play a very important role. Okay, it is increasing to infinity. So one thing I know that one root to I definitely have. One root to I most definitely do have. Now the only critical point is what is happening at x equal to 0. What is happening at x equal to 0 over here? When you try checking the value of x equals to 0, you'll get a format of 0 minus 1 ka whole square plus 0 into ln 0 minus 0 ka format over here. Remember the standard limits over here. Ln x, x into ln x, limit extending to 0. There's a standard limit over here wherein we convert this as ln x divided by 1 by x, limit extending to 0, creating the infinity minus infinity upon infinity form. Differentiating this out using L'Hopital's rule and then simplifying gives you the answer over here that this limit value comes out as equal to 0. So f of 0 ka jo value hai, that comes out as equal to 1. So if f of 0 is equal to 1, I can rather say tending to an exact 0 will not be allowed, but rather it is tending towards 1, limit ka value. So can I say that the function jo hai, it from 0, it has to keep on decreasing up until 1. Okay? At 1, you can also check that at 1 you are getting minus 1 over here. So that's a negative value that also we need to be certain about. At 1 it is minus 1. So it's keep on decreasing. Infinity it is keeping on increasing. So I can say that there will be exactly 2 roots for this function over here. So this question, I'll say it's again a little bit logical question where you had to use quite a bit of analysis over here. You have to use quite a bit of analysis over here in this question. But yeah, it's a good question over here nonetheless. Okay, everyone? Hope the idea is clear. Chalo. So moving on, let's have a look at the next one. Oh, so we have let x0, x1, x2 till x6. These are the distinct roots of distinct complex numbers satisfying this condition. X power 7 minus 7 equals to 0. Okay. P is the product of sum of xi taken pairwise. Oh, so basically all possible pairs, x0 plus x1, x0 plus x2, x0 plus x3, then x1 plus x2, x1 plus x3, z1 plus z2. All of the terms ka product jo hai, that is told as P. What is the value of P square? You have to find. Okay, interesting question. So first of all, can I say that if these are all the roots, z power 7 minus 1, I can write this as z minus z0 into z minus z1, all the roots, right? Z minus z2 till z minus z6. This is the format that I'm going to get. Okay. Now, see, this is a general expression which is true. Let me put z equal to minus z0. See, the reason is I want to create z0 minus z0 minus z1. I can take minus common. I'll get z1 plus z0, z0 plus z1, z0 plus z2. All combinations I can kind of create. So let me put z equal to minus z0. What will I get? I'll get minus z0 power 7 minus 7 equal to minus z0 minus z0. That is minus 2 times z0 into minus Z0 minus Z1 into minus Z0 minus Z2 till minus Z0 minus Z6. So over here, see, these are Z1, Z2 till Z6, even number of terms, and minus if I take common from all of them, I can directly cancel that minus out. Then Z0 power 7. Z0 power 7 is the root of this expression. Can I say that minus Z0 power 7, that is equal to 7? So minus Z0 power 7 will be minus 7. So I have minus 14 equals to minus 2 into Z0 plus Z1, Z0 plus Z2 till Z0 plus Z6. And this I can cancel the two of them, leaving me out with 7 over here. Now dekho, just like I put Z equal to minus Z0, can you see exact similar funda will happen if I, let's say, put Z equal to minus Z1. See, minus Z1 power 7 is also equal to 7. I'll get the same minus 14, which cancelled out as 7. The only change is that I will get minus 2Z1. I'll get minus 2Z1. The 2 will get cancelled out. And then I will actually start over here with Z1 plus Z0, then Z1 plus Z2, and so on and so forth till Z1 plus Z6. Same thing. Again, all the sum of Z1 with Z0, Z2, Z3 till Z6. And the same pattern I can say will be true for all the cases up until Z6, where I will get Z6 plus Z0 and so on and so forth till Z6 plus Z5. Okay? The reason why we did this is where I can now see the Z0, Z1, Z0 plus Z1, Z6 plus Z0, all of those terms are created and every term is present 2 times. Once in itself and second time, like Z0 plus Z6, if you see, it is there once in when you have substituted Z equal to Z0, and once it has also come when you substitute Z equal to Z6. So all of those terms are present 2 times. That means if I multiply the left hand side and right hand side, on the left hand side, what will I get? 7 into 7 into 7 into 7, 7 times, that is 7 power 7 equals to, on the left side, what do you have? You have Z0, Z1 up until Z6 multiplied by, what do you have over here? Isn't this exactly what was asked of us over here? P square. Every term present 2 times. Every term ka square is present. Directly, I can say that this is nothing but your P square over here. This is nothing but my P square over here. The entire right side ka multiplication. Achha, now, just one thing we need. What is Z0, Z1, Z6? I can use product of roots ka funda. So they are all solutions of the expression Z power 7 minus 7 equal to 0. Can I say that the product of these roots jo hai, that will be equal to what? Minus of minus 7. That is plus 7 divided by A, which is 1. So product is 7. I can cancel one of the 7 out. And I can say that P square jo hai, that will be equal to Z power 6. Option B will be the answer. I think it's a very interesting and a bit of a lengthy question. This is a question that I would recommend kind of skipping initially because a little bit on the medium to hard level itself, I'll say. Because this substitution wala logic and then using all of these concepts, like how I can create the exact patterns which I need, it's a little bit difficult. Okay, but once you get one pattern, all of the rest will fall into place and directly you can get the answer. Okay? So Z power 6 option B will be the answer for this question. A simple one. Okay, moving on. What do we have here? Find the number of solutions of this equation sin x plus cos x and minimum of mod x plus 1 comma mod x minus 1. Okay, so this is a very straightforward question. All you need to do is you need to just basically focus on these 2 graphs over here. One is your sin x plus cos x ka graph. One is your sin x plus cos x ka graph, and the second one will be your cos x. The second one will be your minimum of mod x plus 1 and mod x minus 1. First of all, let's focus on sin x plus cos x ka graph over here. So sin x plus cos x ka graph, can I say that at x equal to 0, it will be equal to 0. So it will be equal to 1. Then the maximum value attains at pi by 4, right? 1 by root 2 plus 1 by root 2, root 2. Attains the maximum value somewhere over here, equal to root 2 at pi by 4. Similarly, it attains the minimum value at minus pi by 4. Similarly, it attains the, not the minimum value, at minus pi by 4, it is actually equal to 0. And then it can keep on going up until minus root 2 wala value as well. And then again, the same cycle type, it will repeat itself. This is kind of the graph that you will get of sin x plus cos x. Achha, now that's done. Now let's talk about minimum of mod x plus 1 and mod x minus 1. These are very easy graphs. What is x plus 1? X plus 1 ka graph looks something like this. If you put mod of x plus 1, what will it look like? It will look something like this. This is what mod of x plus 1 ka graph looks like. Similarly, if you draw the graph of x minus 1, x minus 1 will come something on the lines of this over here. And now over here, you have to do mod of x minus 1. So mod of x minus 1 when you will do, so basically all the negative. So why did I do this? Made a mistake by taking the mod over here. Negative wala part, when it flips over, it will be like this. Similarly over here, when you do mod of this x minus 1, I'll flip this over and I will get the graph looking somewhat like this. Which is this point? This point is nothing but 0, 1 itself over here. Now I want the minimum. So basically in all the regions, I will eliminate the bigger graph and I'll only keep the smaller graph over here. I'll only keep the smaller graph over here. So now what this exactly looks like is when you plot it on top of this graph over here, will look something more on the lines of this over here. And like this. So basically, how many points is it going to meet? It will meet at exactly 2 points, meaning that you will have exactly 2 solutions for this expression over here. You'll have exactly 2 solutions for this expression over here. Okay, everyone? That's a simple idea. Draw the graph of sin x plus cos x. This is a graph which you should most definitely know. Similarly, also draw the graph of minima of mod x plus 1 ka graph you draw. You draw mod x minus 1 ka graph. Minimum of the 2 of them you draw. Comes off a W shape. We can say that over here. Okay, I'm going to get exactly 2. I'm going to get exactly 2 roots over here. Okay, there we go. Hope the idea is clear. Let's move on. All right, what do we have over here? Summation x equal to 0 to 89, 3 plus cos 4x into cos 2x. Very well. Okay, let's start simplifying as much as we can. So cos 2x, I can write this as cos square x minus sin square x. Cos 4x, I can write this as 1. Basically, I will prefer breaking this out into 2 plus 1 plus cos 4x. I will write this as, what is 1 plus cos 4x? It is 2 cos square 2x. So let's take that 2 common outside. You'll get 1 plus cos square 2x ka format. 1 plus cos square 2x wala format over here. Okay, everyone? Up till this part, it is the idea is clear. So we have got cos square x minus sin square x into 1 plus cos square x, 1 plus cos square 2x. Okay. But now here, there's a bit of a manipulation which you have to do kind of, because right now you're not able to really simplify this at any point for x equal to 1 to 89. No logic kind of pops into your mind, right? So what we are going to do is we're going to try to club these terms together. So we need to try and create similar looking terms. So what I can do is over here, this cos square x minus sin square x. Okay, let's keep this as it is for now. Over here, cos 2x jo hai, again I know this is equal to cos square x minus sin square x. I have cos square x minus sin square x ka whole square, right? Because cos square 2x. It is cos square x minus sin square x ka whole square. I'm trying to basically reduce the power as much as possible. So now I have this cos square x minus sin square x ka whole square. What I will do is this 1 jo hai na, I will replace this 1 as cos square x plus sin square x ka whole square. Plus cos square x minus sin square x ka whole square. The reason I'm doing this is simply because because when you open cos square x minus sin square x, you will get cos x sin x wala term. I don't want that. I want to eliminate that. So that's why I've opened it in this format over here. Okay. So what I will get is I'll get cos square x minus sin square x multiplied by, now over here, a plus b ka whole square plus a minus b ka whole square. What will you get? You will get 2 times a square plus b square. So basically I get 2 times a square is cos x power 4 plus b square is sin x power 4. Now some things are starting to fall into place. Now I look at this and I think, if it would have been beautiful if this was cos x power 4 minus sin x power 4, right? I can do that by simply multiplying cos square x plus sin square x. And why is it okay to multiply this? Because cos square x plus sin square x is 1. So now overall this 2 you multiply, you get 4 into what you have over here, cos x power 4 minus sin x power 4 multiplied by cos x power 4 plus sin x power 4, which gives you 4 times cos x power 8 minus sin x power 8. Finally, we are at a point where, okay, some breathing room we have got, and some format we are able to express it into a relatively manageable format. Now the question is, let's take the 4 outside. Summation x equal to 1 to 89 cos x power 8 minus summation x equal to 1 to 89 sin x power 8. Can I say that sin x is equal to cos of 90 minus x? Yeah, I can say that this is cos 90 minus x power 8. The reason we have done this is, now dekho, over here when you put x equal to 1, you will get cos square x, cos square 1, cos 1 power 8. Similarly, when you put x equal to 89, you will get cos 1 power 8 but with a minus sign. So when you put 1 over here, 89 over here gets cancelled out. When you put 2 over here, 88 over here gets cancelled out. When you put 3 over here, 87 over there gets cancelled out. Basically, what is going to happen over here is all of your terms just get directly cancelled out. 45 is the only term, but they are anyways equal only, so that also directly gets cancelled out. So all of the terms as they're present in the pair ka format, which are all anyways equal, straightforward, gets cancelled out, giving you simply 0, option B as the answer for this question. Giving you simply 0, option B as the answer for this question. Okay, that's the entire idea that we have over here. Clear, everyone? Chalo. Hope the idea is clear. So this I will put in a proper hard category. Lot of manipulations, some things which you have to by intuition think about manipulating in this format, which is a little difficult to get when you are on a clock and with an exam scenario. It's a little bit difficult in that environment to think about it. Sure. Moving on, let's have a look at another one. What do we have over here? A locus of a point which divides the chord. Okay, there's a chord. The chord has a slope 2. Parabola is y square equal to 4x. Internally, it is dividing in the ratio 1:2. Internally, it is dividing in the ratio 1:2. This point P, H comma K ka jo hai, locus is what you have to get over here. So can I say that assuming the point over here, AT square, A is equal to 1. So I'll take this as T1. T1 square comma 2AT1, 2T1. Come over here, I will take T2 square comma 2T2. Can I say over here, first of all, slope will be equal to Y2 minus Y1, 2 times T2 minus T1 divided by T2 square minus T1 square. What is this? This is equal to 2 divided by T1 plus T2. So I get the fact that T1 plus T2 jo hai, that is equal to 1, which means your T2 will be equal to 1 minus T1. Some things that we have gotten over here, some manipulation, we clear that. It is this format, we can write this expression out over here. Okay. Now, let's find H and K. I can say that H will be equal to what? 2 into T1 square plus 1 into T2 square divided by 3, 2 plus 1. So this I can rewrite slightly as 2 into T1 square plus 1 minus T1 square divided by 3 ka format over here. So what will I get? My H over here, I can overall write this as T1 square plus T1 square. You can get 3 T1 square minus 2 T1 plus 1 divided by 3. Cool. Then I can say y coordinate K will be equal to what? K y coordinate will be equal to 2 into 2T1, that is 4T1 plus 2T2 divided by again 3 over here, divided by again 3 over here. And this case also T1 ki jagah, T2 ki jagah I will put 1 minus T2 ki jagah 1 minus T1. So what does this become? K will be equal to 4T1 minus 2T1, that is 2T1 plus 2 divided by 3 wala format over here. Now finally we can say that the T1 ka value hai, that itself is equal to what? 3K minus 2 divided by 2. 3K minus 2 divided by 2 jo hai, this is the value of T1. Chalo. Finally, we were able to eliminate the parameters T1 and T2 because I can substitute this T1 into the H wala expression over here, which gives me H is equal to 3 into 3K minus 2 divided by 2 ka whole square minus 2 into same 3K minus 2 divided by 2 plus 1 divided by 3. 3 ko to yahan pe just send it over here. And you can slightly rework this out as what? 3H minus 1 and then divided by 3. Divided by 3 is equal to 3K minus 2 by 2 ka whole square minus 2 by 3 into 3K minus 2 by 2. Achha, the reason we have written it like this is now because options mein kya hai? Option mein you need to convert it into a parabola, right? The options what you have is you need to actually convert this out into a parabola and get its vertex. That means just by simplifying this format is not fine. So we need to convert it into some parabola ka format. So how can I do that? Over here, let's do completing the whole square. So I can see what format do we have? A square minus 2 into 1 by 3 into A. So can I say that this 1 by 3 jo hai, that is nothing but my B. This 1 by 3 jo hai, that is nothing but my B. So to complete the square, what do I need? I need B square. But I can't just add 1 by 3 ka square, 1 by 9. Just on one side, I'll have to add it on. Both the sides I'll have to add it on. So now, what do we have over here? This one, if you simplify, you will get something on the lines of 9H minus 3 plus 1, that is minus 2 divided by 9. That's equal to, over here, what do you have? Over here, you will have 3K by minus 2 minus 1 by 3 ka whole square is the final format that you will get over here. This is the final format ka expression that you will get. 3K minus 2 by 2 minus 1 by 3, the whole square. Okay, now kind of it is giving us a little bit of the vibes of a parabola. Let's now standardize this a little bit more over here. So now this 2, if you divide, you will get H minus 2 by 9. Perfect. This one over here, if you simplify, what will you get? You will get 9K minus 2, 9K minus 6 minus 2 divided by 6 ka whole square over here. This gives you H minus 2 by 9 is equal to what do you have over here? 9k minus 8 by 6 ka whole square over here. This one you can write it as h minus 2 by 9 is equal to, let's take 9 square by 6 square go common. 9 and 6, let's take it common outside. So it will come outside as 9 square upon 6 square, that is 81 by 36 into k minus 8 by 9 ka whole square over here. Now, can I say that at this point, yes, it has gotten converted into a parabola. And what is going to be the vertex over here? The vertex is nothing but your 2 by 9 and 8 by 9 wala format, which should be one of the options. 2 by 9 comma 8 by 9. Option C is the answer for this question. Okay? The moment we are able to convert it into a parabola, this one also I'll say medium hard question. This again falls in the category of medium to hard question, very calculative. Okay, this paper we have quite a few questions which are a little calculative, time consuming questions. So these are questions which you should initially kind of avoid. These are questions which you should initially kind of avoid. Lot of variables, lot of parameters you need to eliminate. It's better to keep it for a later bit of time when you're done with most of the questions and you're kind of getting into the period where you're just trying to solve the questions even if they're lengthy. You've done all your easy questions. After that, you can kind of try these questions. Okay? Chalo yaar. What do we have here? Alpha, beta, gamma are the roots of this equation. X cube plus qx plus q. Finally, now we have gotten a very simple equation. What do we have over here? Can I say that the sum of roots alpha plus beta plus gamma is equal to 0? So alpha plus beta is what? Minus gamma. So alpha plus beta power minus 1, which is 1 upon alpha plus beta. That will be 1 upon minus gamma plus 1 upon minus alpha plus 1 upon minus beta equals to, this is what we have to find. So taking the LCM over here, LCM we will take it as alpha, beta, gamma over here. So what will we get? We will get rather minus alpha, beta, gamma. We will take the LCM over here. And what will you get? You will get alpha beta plus beta gamma plus alpha gamma. Now what is this? Sum of product of roots taken 2 at a time. That will be equal to directly C by A, which is Q by 1. That's Q by 1 over here. And what is product of roots? Product of roots will be minus D by A. So that is minus of minus Q by 1. So what will happen? Cancel, 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 cancel. You will get Q. So the product of roots over here equals to 1 over here will be the format. So basically this overall value jo hai will be equal to option C, 1. That's the answer for this question. Okay? A very simple, straightforward, basic question. Okay? You can see that this alpha plus beta power minus 1, beta plus gamma power minus 1, gamma plus alpha power minus 1 is simply 1. Now this is an extremely easy question. See, the point is if you look at the question, now the reason why you should never solve it one question after the other is if you look at the question, there was some easy question, but in the middle there were some 4-5 really lengthy questions which you should have skipped. But if you're just like, I'll do first question, I'll do second question, I'll do third question, then you will most definitely spend some time on those questions which you should definitely have not spent. This is an easier question, which it is also possible that you'll do some 12 question and you'll think that I've given 1 hour, 1.5 hour for maths, I'm done. But then comes such an easy question which it is possible you would have not even seen. Right? So you have to be careful over there. Okay, let's look at the next one. What do we have over here? Integral 0 to 1 e power x dx upon x plus 1 equals, and e2 is 0 to 1 x squared dx upon e power x cube into 2 minus x cube, e1 upon e2. This is a reduction wala question. Basically, the idea in these questions is whichever it looks like the bigger integral, right? You need to work on simplifying this into the I1K format, but you need to work on simplifying it out. So let's see. First step, the most initial first step I can directly see is I will put x cube equals to t, 3x squared dx is equal to dt wala format. So I2 I can say will be equal to what? It is integral. Limits will also not change. X cube, 0 cube is 0, 1 cube is 1. So 0 to 1, x squared dx is dt by 3. So dt by 3 into e power t into 2 minus t. Okay, now looking at this, I'm kind of getting good vibes that at least there is some e power t, there is some 2 minus t ka format. Some stuff here or there are being created, but not anything very solid I am getting. Denominator mein here I have 1 plus x, here I have 2 minus t. I want to somehow create a 1 plus x ka format. I can see that this is 1 plus 1 minus t, right? So let me put this 1 minus t is equal to some z, giving me minus dt equals to dz. So I2 jo hai, that will become what? 1 by 3 into integral 0 to 1 minus dz divided by e power, what will be t? T will become 1 minus z. 1 minus z into 2 minus t will become 1 plus z. 1 plus z ka format I will get. Okay? Oh, this limits will change. Limits will change. 1 minus 0 will be 1 and 1 minus 1 will be equal to 0. Okay. So slightly manipulating this, e power 1. So e power 1 minus z, that is e upon e power z. E power z ko I will send it to the numerator. It will become e power z minus e power z dz divided by e into 1 plus z. So let's take this minus 1 upon e ko common outside. So I can say I2 is what? Minus 1 upon 3e into integral 1 to 0 e power z dz divided by 1 plus z, and this is exactly what we are looking for with limits interchange. So that I can just interchange limits by taking the minus sign back inside. So 0 to 3a integral 0 to 1, I can change instead of e power instead of variable z, I can put x, my choice, divided by 1 plus x. What is this? E power x dx upon 1 plus x? That's nothing but your I1. So you have I2 equals to 1 upon 3e I1. Question is I1 upon I2. What will that be equal to? 3e. That is equal to option D, 3e, the answer for this question. Okay. A very simple, straightforward, some basic question. I'd say that medium. This one I'll still put in the medium, not exactly on the easy line, but yeah, if anyone who is selected that, okay, calculus and integration is come amongst my strong topics, which I'm definitely going to solve, this is a question which you should have most definitely solved. But for those students whom kind of integration you have kept it, okay, if I get an easy question, I might solve it. It's a bit dicey on that lines. Okay. Chalo, moving on. What do we have here? One of the easiest type of question, relation, type of relation. You have been told first relation, let's see, y equal to x plus 1. I can directly say that 1 equal to 1 plus 1 is absolutely incorrect. 1 comma 1 does not belong to the relation, which means it is definitely not reflexive. This is definitely not reflexive. If it is not reflexive, it will also not be equivalence. It will also not be equivalence. So both S and T equivalence is wrong. S is equivalence, wrong. Okay. Now T also let's check. So T ke liye x minus y. First of all, yes, anytime you take x minus x, it is always going to be equal to 0. 0 is always an integer. Reflexive, check. X minus y is an integer, then obviously if I take minus y minus x, it is simply minus of x minus y. This will also be an integer. So yes, it is symmetric as well. Perfectly fine. Then let's say x minus y is an integer, y minus z is an integer. If I add these two, what will I get? X minus z. So integer plus integer will be always a integer. So z minus x will also be an integer, which means yes, it is transitive as well. Yes, it is transitive as well. So jo relation T hai, it is reflexive, symmetric and transitive, meaning it is an equivalence relation, but S is not. So option C will be the correct answer for this question. So option C will be the right answer for this question. Okay, everyone? The idea is clear. Moving on. What do we have here? Y equal to y of x is the solution of this differential equation. Dy by dx equal to 3y square plus 2x. This is a straightforward homogeneous differential equation. Go for y by x is equal to t, or y is equal to v, y equals to vx. We know that dy by dx, you will replace it as v plus x into dv by dx. So again, v plus x into dv by dx is equal to, divided by obviously x square. So 3 into y by x, 3 v square plus 2v divided by 1 plus 2v. Now minus this v over here, and from here, I'll not skip a lot of steps. So let's simplify this out a little bit. You'll get 3v square plus 2v minus v minus 2v square divided by 1 plus 2v. Okay. Now take the reciprocal. I can say dx upon x is equal to, over here what will I get? I'll get 1 plus 2v, and the denominator, what you have, 3v square minus 2v square, that is v square plus v into dv. This is the format that you will get. Now this is very easily integrable. This is nothing but ln x. And what is this? V square plus v ka derivative at 2v plus 1. I can say this is ln mod v square plus v plus the constant of integration. Straightforward. First of all, now put, you have been given y of 1 is equal to 1. So basically, let's put x equal to y equals to 1. So I'll get ln 1 is equal to ln y by x. Yeah, v square plus v. So basically, y by x plus y by x, that will become nothing but 1 by 1, that is 2 plus c over here. So what is your c coming out as? C will come out as over here ln 1 is equal to 0. C will come out as minus ln 2 over here. Okay, c will come out as minus ln 2 over here. So the moment you have got c is equal to minus ln 2, okay, now we need to find y of 2. Okay, so I can say the expression is ln x is equal to ln y by x ka whole square plus y by x minus ln 2. Okay, this is kind of the expression that you will get. Okay, so now let's put x equals to 2. You will get ln 2 equals to ln of y square by 4 plus y by 2 minus ln 2 over here. So basically I'll get ln 2 plus ln 2, that is basically equals to 2 ln 2 square, that's ln 4. This is equal to ln of y square by 4 plus y by 2 over here. So what format do we have? We have 4 equals to y square plus 2y divided by 4. So that is y square plus 2y equals to 16, which is y square plus 2y minus 16 equals to 0. So we have y square plus 2y minus 16 equals to 0 over here. Can I say at this point, what is my product of the roots going to be? It is c by a Product of root C by A will be C by 1, that is minus 16. Option C will be the answer for this question. Option C will be the answer for this question. Okay? Everybody, I hope the idea is clear. Very simple, basics of question. Okay? So yeah, interesting question this one rather. Let's take a look at next one. Okay, we have a probability question. What has been informed? You have a urn P. It contains 2 white, 2 black, 4 red. Cool. Urn Q, which contains 6 white, 2 black, 3 red, and urn R, which contains 2 white, 1 black, 4 red. One urn is chosen at random and 2 balls are drawn at random, and both the 2 balls happen to be 1 red and 1 white. What is the probability both balls came from urn 2? See, this type of questions become a bit calculative just because of the fact that number of balls is not same. So first of all, let's talk about the probability of getting. So we'll be using base theorem over here. So basically, you will in the denominator total probability theorem, you need to find the probability that you've got. Let's call it UR, UQ, UP. The probability that the balls came from UR, given that you have got red and white ball, right? You've got 1 red and 1 white ball. So 1 red and 1 white ball ka probability ke liye what we will do? Probability of choosing urn P, it is 1 by 3 multiplied by selecting 1 red, 1 white. So selecting 1 red, that is 4C1, 1 white, 4C2, divided by total you have 8, so 8C2 plus 1 by 3 into 1 white, that is 1 red, 3, 1 white, 6, 6C1, 3C1, divided by total number of balls 9, 11, 11C2 plus urn R, 1 by 3 into 1 red, 4C1, 1 white, 2C1, divided by total number of balls 5, 7, 7C2. So this is your denominator. Out of this, you have been told what is the probability it came from urn R. So this urn R wala jo part hai, 1 by 3 into 4 into 2 divided by 7C2. This you will send to the numerator. 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3 will just get cancelled out over here. In some 2 to 2 also you can cancel out. After this, this is a pure bit of calculation wala part. So you get something like 8 by 21 divided by 2 by 7 plus 18 by 55 plus 8 by 21. I can say that's 110 divided by 287. That's 110 divided by 287. No point just doing that entire calculation bit. So when you see such big, still okayish calculation, you could still do this. Not a lot, but I'd still recommend keep it a bit towards the end, because what happens is if you make a small mistake, okay, while calculating, it's human. It is possible that you might make some calculation mistake. You will see that none of the option is matching. At the moment none of the option match, you think, I've given 5 minutes, let me give 2 more minutes. You again do it. And spotting that error quickly becomes very difficult. You never spot that error. It's very difficult to spot that error which you have made on your own. Show it to someone else, they'll spot it very quickly. But on ourselves, spotting that error, it's a bit difficult. So I'd recommend, if you have even this bit of calculation or question, a little bit later you can leave. But if you're confident in your calculation, go right ahead, no problem. Okay. So moving on. 2 lines, shortest distance between the lines. Straightforward, we have A2 minus A1 dot B1 cross B2, where A2, A1 are the point direction ratio, B1, B2 are the direction ratios of the line, divided by magnitude of B1 cross B2. I can see that first of all, obviously I need B1 cross B2. Let's first get B1 cross B2. So what is B1 cross B2? I cap, J cap, K cap. Then you have 2, 4, 1, 1 minus 2, 1. So what do you have? I cap is 4 minus 6 I cap. J cap is 2 minus 1 minus J cap. K cap is minus 2, minus 4, minus 8 K cap over here. Minus 2, minus 8 K cap over here. So now what we have gotten is we have got the B1 cross B2 wala value. Now what do we need? We need A2 minus A1, and after getting A2 minus A1, we can get the dot product as well over here. Okay? So what do we have now? A2 minus A1 ka value, let's just, first let's get the magnitude also. What is the magnitude of B1 cross B2 coming out as root of 36 plus 1 plus 64. That's equal to root of 101. Okay? Now A2 minus A1 kya hai? A2 minus A1 is coming out as A2 minus A1, 4 minus 2, 2 I cap, 3 minus 3, 0 J cap, 2 minus 4, minus 2 K cap. What is the dot product of these two? That's 12 plus 0 plus 16, which is 28. So you get 28 divided by root of 101. Very simple. Distance between 2 lines, 3D. 3D when now as planes is removed, lines is the only topic. Assuming point and distance between the lines is majorly what they ask. All that they ask is just these 2 topics. Okay? Moving on. Total number of 4-digit even numbers which can be formed using the digits without repetition 0, 1, 2, 4, 5. Even number chahiye, 4-digit number we need to take cases. Starting with 0, we can choose all of the 4 other numbers, 4, 3, 2. Then when your number is ending with 2, there's a problem. Now 0 cannot come in the thousands place, so you only have 3 options. Now 0 comes back, so 3, 2. Same with 4 also, 3, 3, 2. This is the case. Total number, what will it be? So this is 24. What do you have over here? 18. And what do you have over here? 18. So that's 36, 24. Option D, 60 will be the answer. Option D, 60 will be the answer over here. Very simple question. Moving on, what do we have here? Area of the region bound by the curves. Very simple question. What are the curves? The curves are y equals to minus 2x square. This is y equal to minus 2x square. Then you have y equal to minus 3x square plus 1. So minus 3x square plus 1 looks something like this. This is y equal to minus 3x square plus 1 over here. Now you're talking about this region right here. So I can directly equate minus 2x square and minus 3x square plus 1. You'll get what? X square equals to 1, x equals to minus 1 plus 1. So I can say integral minus 1 to plus 1. Upper curve is 1 minus 3x square minus 2x square. Lower curve is your minus 2x square, minus of minus plus 2x square. So it's simply 2 times integral 0 to 1, 1 minus x square. X minus x cube upon 3 you can integrate, multiply by 2. 2 by 3 into 2, or 4 by 3 will be the answer for this question over here. Okay, it's a literal nothing question. One of the easiest area under the curve question that you could have asked for. It's the easiest area under the curve question that you could have ever asked for. Okay, straightforward. 4 by 3 will be the answer. Chala. Moving on. Find the sum of all the rational terms in the expansion of 1 plus 2 by 3, 2 power 1 by 3 plus 3 power 1 by 2 power 6. Okay, we'll have to use multinomial theorem over here. I can say this expansion looks like summation p plus q plus r equal to 6. P plus q plus r equal to 6 into 6 factorial divided by p factorial, q factorial, r factorial into 1 power p, 2 power 1 by 3 power q, to 3 power 1 by 2 power r ka format, right? This is what you have, p, q, r. Now, we'll need to set p ka value can be anything. The only condition is that p plus q plus r should be equal to 6. So let's take some values of q and correspondingly we can get the value of r and p. First of all, let's say that your q is equal to 0. So when your q is equal to 0, then you can get possible values of r as r can be 0 because 0 power 1 by 0 into 1 by 2 is perfectly fine. If q is 0, r is 0, p will be equal to 6. Then I can take same q, I will keep 0, r I will change it to r now even numbers I need, right? R2, p will become 4. Q is 0, I can take r as next multiple which is 4, 2. 0, r I can take it as 6, p becomes 0. So q equal to, I have fixed q, right? For q equal to 0, these are all the possibilities. Next, what is the next possible acceptable value of q? Q has to be a multiple of 3. Next acceptable value is q equal to 3. So q equal to 3 pe, again I will start with r equal to 0. R equal to 0 pe, p will be 3. Q equal to 3, next possible value r equal to 2, p will be equal to 1. Q equal to 3, r equal to 4, but not acceptable, right? So this goes off. So I have only 2 cases. And then finally, PQR, Q I will take it as 6, R and P have to be 0. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 terms you have. Then I've asked you to find the sum of all the rational terms. To find the sum of all the terms, like first term when this you will have 6 factorial upon 6 factorial, 0 factorial, 0 factorial into 1 power 6, 2 power 0, 3 power 0, 1 plus so on and so forth. You'll need to again write all of the 7 terms. You'll have to write all the 7 terms. It comes out as 1 plus 45 plus 135 plus 27 plus 40 plus 360 plus 4. Okay, it's a pure calculation bit. The logic wala part was how you take the values of PQR. How you find the values of PQR, that was the logical bit. Rest is pure simple calculation. Rest is pure simple calculation as it is. Okay? So 612 will be the answer for this one. Moving on, what do we have over here? A minus n into nx minus tan x sin x upon x square is equal to 0, limit extending to 0. Standard is a very simple limit, right? So I can write this as a minus n into nx minus tan x divided by x multiplied by sin of nx divided by x. I'll just break that x square as 2 parts. Here I will get a minus n into n minus tan x upon x is 1 multiplied by sin nx upon x is n. This is equal to 0. N is not equal to 0 is given. I can directly cancel this out. So I can say a minus n into n minus 1 is 0. So I can say a minus n is equal to 1 upon n. A is equal to n plus 1 upon n. A is equal to n plus 1 upon n. So if a is kn plus 1 by n, k should be equal to 1. K should be just equal to 1 over here. Straightforward. This is the idea. Okay? Simple basics of question over here. Straightforward, very easy. Standard limit application was there. Alright, moving on. What do we have over here? Log 2 power log x to the base 2 power 1 by 4 minus 3 log x square plus 1 power 3 base 27 minus 2x divided by 7 power 4 log. Let's simplify this out a little bit. I can first of all interchange this basis. So I can write this as x power log 2 power 1 by 4 to the base 2, that's equal to x power 4 minus, over here also interchange, so x square plus 1 ka whole cube power log 3 to the base 27. This is power 1 by 3, so 1 by 3 and 3 will get cancelled out, so minus x square minus 1 minus 2x minus 2x. Okay, numerator is simplified. Let's talk about denominator. Denominator, what do you have? 7 power, so again interchange the two of them, x power 4. First of all, write this as 7 power log of x power 4 to the base 49, and then interchange the two of them. I'll get x power 4 log 7 base 49. What is this? 1 by 2. So x power 4 into 1 by 2, that's x squared. Okay. So I'll get x squared minus x minus 1. Achha. Now this term jo hai na, x power 4 minus 2x minus x square minus 2x minus 1. This is easily factorizable as is a standard factor which you should remember as x square plus x plus 1, x square minus x minus 1 divided by x square minus x minus 1 over here. It's a very standard factor which you should most definitely remember. Okay? If you don't, remember that this is the format. It most of the cases comes in combination with either x square minus x minus 1 or x square plus x plus 1. Okay? Some combination mein you will always see this pop out. Okay? So now what can I say? I can directly just cancel the two of them and I need to find the derivative of x square plus x plus 1. What is the derivative? It's 2x plus 1. So a is 2, b is 1, 2 plus 1 will be equal to 3. Okay? Straightforward. Little bit properties of log. One factorization, important factorization of x power 4 minus x square minus 2x minus 1. That's the important funda you have to use over here. Okay? Moving on. What do we have here? F of x is integral e power x 2 upon 1 minus tan x plus tan square x plus pi by 4. Okay, the 1 plus tan square x is sec square x, or tan square x I can write it as sec square x minus 1 plus sec square x. So this will become 2 upon 1 minus tan x minus 1 plus sec square x plus pi by 4, right? Into e power x whole integral. This one if we simplify, 2 minus 1 plus tan x, so basically 1 plus tan x upon 1 minus tan x plus sec square x plus pi by 4. You might think, why are we doing this? Some of you might have even gotten an idea. What is 1 plus tan x upon 1 minus tan x? This is nothing but tan of pi by 4 plus x or x plus pi by 4 either way. This is nothing but tan of x plus pi by 4 or pi by 4 plus x ka format plus sec square x plus pi by 4 into e power x. So you have e power x into some function plus f dash of x ka integral. You know, this is nothing but directly the derivative of e power x into f of x. So integral will give you what e power x into f of x, which is e power x into tan of x plus pi by 4. You get this is your f of x plus c is also there. If you put x is equal to 3 pi by 4, you will get tan pi, that is already equal to 0, 0 equal to 0 plus c, c will be equal to 0 using 3 pi by 4 equal to 0. Now you need to find greatest interior function of ln of f of pi. Okay, let's first of all get f of pi. F of pi will be e power pi into tan pi plus pi by 4. Tan pi plus pi by 4 is tan pi by 4, 1. So f of pi is equal to e power pi. So what is ln of f of pi? This will be ln e power pi, which is equal to simply pi. What is greatest interior function of pi? 3.14. Your greatest interior function is 3. Therefore, 3 will be the answer over here. Therefore, 3 will be the answer over here for this question. Simple. A little bit of trigonometry, a little bit of integration, classical integrals, and tad bit of greatest interior function. Okay? This, I will say, it's an easy question category. We can come very easily. All right, moving on. Let's have a look at the next question. What do you have over here? Cos inverse p by a plus cos inverse q by b equals to alpha. And p square by a square minus 2pq upon ab cos alpha plus q square upon b square is sum f of alpha. What is the number of integers in the range of f of alpha? Okay. Cos alpha is introduced. Here there is no cos alpha. First things first, let's take cos on both the sides. So I can write this as cos of cos inverse p by a plus cos inverse excuse me, cos inverse p by a plus cos inverse q by b equal to cos alpha. This will be cos a cos b plus sin a sin b. So it is cos of cos inverse p by a into q by b minus sine of cos inverse p by a. I'll have to convert cos inverse into sine. What will it become? Root of a square minus b square divided by hypotenuse a into root of b square minus q square divided by b. This is equal to cos alpha is the expression that we have over here. So now I can say that this is cos alpha. Then I can write this as pq upon ab minus cos alpha jo hai, that is equal to root of a square minus p square root of b square minus q square divided by ab. Now take a square on both sides. You will get p square q square upon a square b square minus plus cos square alpha minus 2pq upon ab cos alpha. This is equal to a square minus p square into b square minus q square divided by a square b square divided by a square b square over here. Very much, I think some expressions I believe will be able to simplify this out very quickly. So this, if I look at this term over here, what do I have? I can write this out as a square b square minus a square q square minus p square b square plus p square q square divided by a square b square. First of all, p square q square upon a square b square, p square q square upon a square b square gets cancelled out. Then you have cos square alpha minus 2pq upon ab cos alpha. Over here, I can say, what are we left with? We are left with 1, then minus q square upon b square, then minus p square upon a square, minus p square upon a square. Oh, wonderful. Stuff that we kind of need. This is equal to cos square alpha minus 2pq upon ab cos alpha. What do? Send q square upon b square, p square upon a square over to left side, cos square alpha over to the right side over here. So what will I get? I'll get q square upon b square minus q plus q p square upon a square minus 2pq upon ab cos alpha, the term which I was looking for, equal to 1 minus cos square alpha, equals to 1 minus cos square alpha. This is exactly what I needed. I can say that f of alpha is equal to what? 1 minus cos square alpha. Now 1 minus cos square alpha ka range, I believe all of you should know. Cos square minus cos square alpha lies between -1 and 0. So 1 minus cos square alpha, it will lie between 0 to 1. So what are the integral values possible? 0 and 1. There are 2 integral values possible for your f of alpha. Hence the answer for this question should be 2. Okay, everyone? Hope the idea is clear, and all the 25 questions you were able to get an idea as to how you should solve and which questions you should skip and which questions you should focus rather on. Okay? Hope you enjoyed the session, everyone. I'll assume the next discussion for all of you.